we're live again. What's up? Hey, Mix. Glad you held on, came back. I'm hoping everybody will come back. I apologize. Something happened. Hey, Mix, do I have volume? Do you hear volume? Do you hear me? I'm echoing. Oh, that's lovely. Ah, boy. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know how to get rid of the echo, and unless I restart the computer again, or unless I should say, if Lorenzo Sleestack, hey buddy, how you doing? Glad to see you in here on the chat. Vapagon, glad to see you came back. Everybody, Reed Troutman, no echo. Okay, Reed Troutman says there's no echo. Okay, good. Am I loud enough? I'm not sure. The control center where I'm at on the control center where I'm at on YouTube, I can't seem to open up the controls. I'm not sure why. I'm looking for the dashboard controls, and it's not letting me click on much of anything. So I guess I'm just going to deal with it right now. Is the volume loud enough for you guys? I think it's all good. Okay, cool. What happened was I have an external microphone, and I think that died on me. It was one of those black web microphones, and I think the USB port on it was a little janked up. Oh, that was me. Laugh loud, stupid Twitter. Okay, cool. All right. So anyway, we're doing Moss Man. If you came in, all right. For everybody that's come in so far, here's the rules, because I didn't have time to type it in because we started the stream and I didn't want to lose you guys. Here are the rules for everybody that's just checking in. You have to be a backer during tonight's stream, live stream. So the link is in the description. Hopefully it should be fine. Hopefully there's not another boomer problem or something I did wrong. But anyway, all you have to do is be a backer. You go in, you back Dragon Guard, then you come back here, and basically what you do is just give me your backer number. Let me check that in my emails, because they automatically inform me when you guys back a project. And so let me check it, make sure everything is good. And then what you do is you come back in the chat, you tell me, well, when I come back in the chat, you guys tell me what character you want to see. One character. It's a bust shot. There are some rules. I'm not going to draw, elaborate 3-character freebie. These are all free. The only thing I ask is if you find it in your heart that you want to drop a little bit for shipping, my PayPal information is there too, I think, in the description. And that's just, like I live on the East Coast. If you live in the West Coast and things like that, or if you're overseas, it would be a little bit more expensive for me to mail these. But everything's free. You're not obligated. Like I said, I'm going to stick by it that you're getting a free piece of artwork. And then, we'll go from there. But it's not mandatory. It's just, hey, if you get a chance to share a little bit, that would be cool. And so I've got the first sketch is Moss Man, and I'm looking here, Reed Troutman. Let me see. Reed Troutman, where do you order your pens, microns, or Copic multi? Okay, I use a little bit of both. To be honest with you, my favorite is I don't have any direct. Well, let me see if I got one on me. I may not have it directly on me. Yeah, it's one of these. My favorite is because of the tip. I'm not sure what they did with the tip, why it's different, but the tip for this, it's a Prismacolor pen, and they are my favorites. They can there's something about them where they're just soft enough to when you flick the line, it gives you a sort of you can get in there and get almost like a crow quill kind of line really easily. And Mark Anthony, hey, hey, in space, no one can hear you scream. Yeah, exactly. Um, there's Zombie Kebab jumping in for me. Thank you, Zombie Kebab. Um, but yeah, I usually like these, but the problem with these pins, and I'll tell you, um, let me see, it was Reed Troutman. Yeah, Reed Troutman. The problem with these pins is that I've noticed that when I use it, at least on Bristol board, um, that the ink is coming up. You know, if you take a kneaded eraser to erase your pencils, the ink will come up. It doesn't dry particularly well on Bristol board, so far that I can tell. So if there was any way I could hack this tip right here, I'll have to look around because it's similar to the Micron's construction. So if I could cut those up and figure out how to put a decent ink inside these would be the best damn pens I've ever used. Um, but they're the Prismacolors. But I right now I'm settling on the Copics, the Copic multiliners and the Micron. So I use a little bit of both. I order those from. Well, I mostly get mine from Hobby Lobby or Michaels. We have both of those in town. Um, but every now and then I have to order some stuff. So Dick Blick is usually a pretty good place. They've got decent prices, and they're a good place to order pens and stuff from. And that's what I do most of my inking with, just because I can use a brush, and I'm getting better at using a brush, but I can't use the brush in the same skill level as I can use a pen right now. And so, I'm just trying to use what looks best. So sometimes I'll use a brush just because I'm feeling confident enough to pull certain lines, but the crow quill and the brush are the two things that are kind of making it hard for me right now. I've still got to up my game, I guess is a better way to say it. Get a little bit more practice in with them before I feel like I'm comfortable enough to try something else. So that's why I use the pins. I use the pins. It gives me a little bit more control over what I'm doing. The problem is it's slower because you're basically trying to imitate a quill or a brush line with the pins, and so that makes it harder. So here we go. All right, we Zombie Kebab's in here hanging out with us. Vapagon, Blue Boy Hobbies, Lorenzo Sleestack. I'm glad you came in, buddy. Reed Troutman. Yeah, everybody's here. It seems like we got a good crew tonight. And what we're doing is, what you're seeing is I'm doing a sketch of Moss Man from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And I'm going to ink this, obviously, but I figure I'd rough in the basic structure here. So we're doing free sketches tonight. Free sketches for everybody who backs Dragon Guard during, and this is, I had it in the description of the last one. I didn't have enough time since the sound went to crap. Basically, here's how the rules work. You go back Dragon Guard during the duration of the stream. Anytime during the stream, you want to do it sooner than later because other people will get in queue before you. And you'll get a free sketch. All you have to do is back Dragon Guard, come back to the chat, tell me your backer number. Let me double check it on the in the emails, and then when I get the information that you've backed and it confirms, which is real easy, it won't take long. Tell me what character you want, and I will draw it. It'll be a free bus sketch, and the bus sketch being upper body, upper torso kind of deal. A few of them I got a little crazy on, and and I did full or close to full body shots. We can talk about that, but for right now, the rule is torso bust shots and not full body figures. But we, depending on how the night goes and depending on if you happen to back a little higher, like $200 or $100 tiers and things like that, I may consider throwing a little bit more of a figure sketch. And that's not to say anybody's more important than the other, but it just depends on how generous I'm feeling at the moment. Also, if there's a queue, because if I got a lot of people waiting on me, I can't do a super fast, full body sketch the way I can with a bust. It's just how it goes. When you're at a con, you kind of, if you're familiar with that, you know that it's certain types of sketches go faster than others. All right. Okay, yeah. Miggs's question on the siege tier for the interior art, is it by order of who back first to pick those pages? Yes. What'll happen is, Miggs, is that here's the thing. Since we're talking about original art, sketches, and all that other good stuff, what's going to happen is when the pages are all done, the black and white, I'm going to send out a PDF to everybody who backed. The people that backed in order, I'm going to give you first pick. So what'll happen is let's say Miggs is number 4, then Miggs and Mark Anthony was number 7, then Miggs gets first pick, then Mark Anthony, and then whoever now, and I'll say, hey, you guys can get your first choice, and then I'll send out more PDFs to other people and just say, hey, here you go, here's what we got left, and I'm going to make these. You guys have seen some of the pages. I know I don't have them ready to drop in. I wish I need to get StreamYard before the end of the campaign so that I can start popping up some of these images for you guys. But if you go to the Dragon Guard Indiegogo, you'll see the kind of artwork that I'm putting into this stuff. So you know that if you pick anything, you're gonna. I would think that any interior page you'd love it. Okay. Thank God I'm not number 4. Laugh out loud. Well, that's not too bad. You get like first choice. I don't know. Or at least you're really high in the pecking order. I've only showed a few of the pages so far, so you might be more excited about some of the other stuff coming down the pike. So we'll see. And Reed Troutman, yeah, dude. I personally swear by that. I mean, I'm not. Here's the thing: if you're interested in inking, always go and ask. Let me get Mossman rounded out here. Always go and ask an inker. More inclined to some kind of a pro, somebody who's done it for a little while. Ask them what they recommend. I know what works for me, and a lot of it's about what works for you. Nowadays, with scanning technology being the way it is, it's much easier to, it's much easier to reproduce a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to if you had been publishing in the 80s or early 90s and things like that. So, Zombie Kebab. Yeah, Walmart carries the Prisma pens. They do. Or at least ours does. Yeah. Migs, you know where I'm aiming at. Oh, okay. Cool, man. Cool. Well, there might be more pages down the way. You never know. I'm gonna try to shock you guys a little bit. Give you even. The whole point is to try with each page to do a better job than the other. Like I was saying before, before I was so rudely cut out by my microphone. This right here is just a look at a double page spread I was doing for a friend, a commission that's been he's been graciously been very patient about. He's kind of let me work on the Indiegogo and then work on this and stuff, and I'm kind of putting it together. But it's a double page spread. Yeah, Desert Biopunk. Hey, man, I'm glad you came back too, man. This is part of a double page spread of what we got here is Jitsu, Lino from the Thundercats. We have Monkeyin. Maybe the camera will focus for me. Yeah, so there you go. We got Monkeyin. I'm not sure who this character is from He-Man, but I know it's a He-Man and Masters of the Universe, the Filmation. It's a character from that. and then we have Rotaro from the Thundercats, which I got to render out a little bit more. But Mark Anthony, this is awesome. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Again, the people that are patient with me, I try to reward them on the page. I try to bring as much crazy detailed as I possibly can, because I understand this Indiegogo is, not, it's just a lot more promotional work than I thought I'd have to do. I think a lot of pros just kind of assume that if people know them or whatever, that they'll back, and that's not the case. You got to get out there and, like, some of the other people are saying, you got to hustle, you got to put it out there, you got to get it out there. Blue Boy Hobbies and more. Well, I'm just happy that your campaign has been successful. Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And here's the other side of the double pager. We have Moss Man from He-Man. We have the Driller from Thundercats. This big creepy guy right here is Whiplash. It's based on the toy figure, the classics figure, or the vintage figure as well. And then you have He-Man, and back here is Hammerhand. So we're working on that. All right. And here's the damage page. Here's, if you notice some differences, this is the damage page. I tried loading it into a top loader, and it bent. They put a crease. It's hard to, it may not be easy to see here, but there's a crease at the very top over by here in a diagonal, because I was trying to put it in a top loader, and for some reason it snagged on the corner and bent it. That's the only thing I don't like about the top loaders, is sometimes they're snug. They're a little bit more snug than they should be. And it's hard to, if you catch a, you might be able to see it right there. There's a little line right there, but it goes from the top all the way over here to the side. But the top loaders, what'll happen is on the sides of the top loaders, when you're sliding it in there, if it catches the corner of the paper on the side of it, it's unforgiving, and you actually push down too hard. And Mark Anthony, finish and sell it. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I can sell it, because I would have to finish the other side too, maybe. But I'm going to go give this to my friend, because, he had been waiting, and it was one of those things. He, at least for part of what had happened where I had to redraw it, he could at least have the other piece too, So Blue Boy Hobbies, just give me all the sketches. Yeah. And so anyway, that's what I've kind of been noodling on a little bit too, trying to get caught up on that. But anyway, let's get back to Moss Man, because we got people waiting, and we had a nice little interlude. So anyway, got the pencils again. Grab a couple of pens. So where's a 2, a 5? Let's start with the 5. And anyway, so everybody out there who hasn't checked it out, check out Dragon Guard. The link is in the description, and I think even Zombie Kebab is dropping it in there too. So there we go. Those aren't the pens I wanted. Let's see. All right, we'll get this one. This is a good one. So here we go. And the link is in the description. If you back it, check it out. See, come back here, give me your backer number, and we'll be rolling. So what I was saying before, we had what I was saying before the stream cutout was the one of the things I want to do with this book is just give you guys like a really quality. I know some of you might have heard me say this before, but hopefully I can impart this to some of the new people, is that I really wanted, the aim is really to make this a nice looking book and a professional looking book. I know that when you back, it's $25, and I think that with some of the things, you see this with a lot of the crowdfunded books and stuff, is that sometimes you get people that let's just say, the book, the quality, you're paying $25 for a book, and maybe the level, the skill level isn't there, or whatever, and it could kind of turn you off, because $25 is a lot to shell out. Well, I think most of us know that it's it's a premium on a comic book, but it's more pages. Obviously, most people offer more pages, but the goal is with Dragon Guard is to give you a really nice looking book, um, and not an ego thing, but just to say, hey, the level of quality, you expect that, and it's an indie book, but you're going to get pro quality work, and that's important. Um, and that's not a slam against anybody, but it's one of those things. I think with the way the market is going, and with some of the stuff with Diamond and the changing of the distribution models and things like that, it's the virus has opened up a I guess shown people a weakness in the system, and that they're trying to fill that. And with that, I'm sure there are going to be some artists that don't have work, and I'm think you're going to start seeing some of these pros doing a lot more crowdfunding. And to do that, to stay competitive, you got to up your game. You got to bring some quality work, and that's the plan. That's what I'm doing. I want you to see the pencil pages and go, holy crap, or that's the goal. Not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying, that's what I want to do. My favorite books: Battle Chasers, Pit, Wildcats, Jim Lee's X-Men run, a lot of the 80s comics. I love a lot of 80s comics and things like that. So, I just want you guys to enjoy the art, and hopefully if I get somebody to go, wow, then that's really awesome. Let's see. And Blue Boy Hobby said, "Yeah, Dragon Guard has a lot of effort and love put into." Yes, sir. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's a homage to the things that I want to draw. If you hear the story of Stan Lee when he was working at Atlas, right before, I guess it's Atlas, or was it Timely? I can't remember what Marvel was called at the time that he was doing it, but he was writing romance novels, and he was getting a little fed up with all the stuff that they were having him write. And he was kind of, if you at least going by his story of it, he says that he was tired of the way things were going, and he was losing his love for stuff, and he wanted to do these characters. He had ideas for stories that was different from all this stuff. And his wife just tells him, if you're going to quit, why not just do the story that you want to do, and and get it out there and do it. And so he just wrote. He went through with the idea of Spider-Man and things like that, and it was a winner for him. Not immediately, but it was a lot of it. Within a couple of months or so, you started to see these big successes, and then superheroes were the big thing. And so that's the point where I'm at. I'm kind of tired of begging people. Yeah, definitely like and share. Like and share. Hey, Nighthawk Warrior. Okay. And so are you planning to do another stream with another comic skater to pitch your book? It just depends. I know that me and Antonio Bryce had talked about having me back on. The first stream well, let me put it this way. I love talking to Antonio, but I hated the fact that there's some people had some kind of grievance with me because I blocked some people on Twitter, which is, my business, not particularly theirs. And, these people followed me around to a couple of my other appearances and kind of just gave me a hassle, which is okay. I think I handled it pretty good. But hopefully I'll do Antonio's one more time. I definitely talked about. I was very receptive to doing another one with RGE, Raging Golden Eagle. Um, I'm trying to remember the name of his book because I'm having a brain fart right now. But I think it was like a Blood. Oh God, Blood Eagle something. It was like a manga fantasy manga book, which is really he's doing amazing numbers on those on his book, and I was very lucky, and it was a good stream. So both those guys were really nice to me. Just kind of came to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" So yeah, I'm considering anybody. But right now, I haven't had a lot of people reach out to me, so I don't know who. Yeah, Blade Devil. Thank you, Vapogon. Blade Devil. That's what it was. Sorry for the brain fart. If you're listening, RGE, I apologize, man. Um, but where I'm on Drawn and Quartered. I'm on Friday Night Auctions, which I may be slowing down some of my participation because the book's going to start. I have to start getting really serious about more pages, and getting the book really rolling because the campaign's about halfway through, and so sooner or later it's go time. So that will be one of the realities of things is I'm going to have to keep my focus really strict to drawing pages and not really uh, my free time is going to be limited is the better way to say it. Um, so that's going to be tough because I have so much fun with those guys sitting around and drawing and things like that. That it's kind of one of those really hard sacrifices because you enjoy shooting a breeze with people and drawing, and that's what we're here for. But yeah, what I was saying though was, as far as the work, Doug Riggs, do you have any plans for creator projects after this one or continuing the story? Yeah, that's the point. Is that I want to do this. I know you had asked me before. I wonder if that might have been when the volume was cutting out. Yeah, that's the plan. I love this type of story. I've got 3 issues plotted out. That's kind of the magic number, but I want to do it more. If it's successful enough to just keep going, and to if the demand is there, I mean, I'm getting a good response. If the demand is there, I definitely would keep it going. Because that's all I really want to draw right now. Now you might ask me in 2 years, I was like, what do you want to draw? And I'm like, dude, I'm so tired of fantasy. But nah, I don't see that anytime soon. But you know, the, as an artist, there's lots of things you want to draw, and I'm not somebody who's really geared towards a lot of like the more harder hitting, edgier things like Punisher or something like that. And that's not saying I don't like the character. I like the character. I like the stories. I like when Jim Lee was drawing it. But it's not a character that for some reason I draw terribly, terribly well. Maybe it's the guns or whatever. I got to get better at drawing some of the hardware. But that's not a genre, I guess is a better way to say it, that a lot of people see that I'm really good at. And that's fine. Uh, I don't mind being a cheeseburger as long as I'm a really good cheeseburger, as they say. Whereas it's a quote from George Thorogood. Um, I know what I'm good at, and I don't know if I want to draw superheroes right now. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. I tell you, I'll vaguely allude to this if you haven't heard the story. I know some of you guys might have. But Juan Del Diablo, there's always, hey, dude, glad you came in. I didn't even see you come in. Trusty Sidekick, hey, buddy, want to give you a shout out, man. Basically, let me see. Juan Del Diablo says it's always space opera like Flash Gordon or John Carter. Yeah, the John Carter stuff, man. I watched the movie and I just watched it recently because I was really apprehensive. Everybody, it didn't do well at the box office, but everybody's saying it was great and this and that. And I was like, I don't know. I think it was the color palette of the movie. It's very one note. It's that the sand color, that it's pretty much everything in that movie. You don't see it, all you see is oranges and that sand color and things like that. And I know it's supposed to be Mars, so I understand that, but production wise, it wasn't visually appealing to me, I guess. But I watched that movie and dude, I loved it. It was so good. So yeah, I could definitely see that John, the type of stuff like John Carter. But I think more in terms of John Carter is it's very similar fantasy though. I mean, it's kind of, it may not be swords and sorcerers uh, in like a He-Man sense or something like that, but it's definitely fantasy, and you know, it's really cool. I love the movie. The movie made more of an impact on me than I thought I thought I would like it. I was kind of iffy about it, and then I was like, wow, you know. I was really surprised nobody, it didn't do super well at the box office. So, but it was fun. It was really fun. Oh, Junkyard Done. Hey, buddy. All right, cool, man. And I was mentioning to everybody else too, just so you know, the free sketches, first wave of those have went out Friday, and more sketches are going out this week, and they'll be going down. And also, drawn and quartered sketches are being worked on and shipped out too. So everybody that's waiting for something, they are coming out. This is slowly but surely. So if you're waiting on something, it's definitely coming. I'm getting you guys out as fast as I can. And here we have Moss Man. But thank you, Junkyard Done. I really appreciate that. Mig says if we can at least get you on drawn and quartered, I'm fine with that. Yeah, me too, man. I have so much fun with that. I love those guys and gals. But one of the things I was saying before, just a second ago, we were talking about this, is doing the fantasy. Dragon Guard is basically, it came from a couple of different, what can I say? I got to watch what I say so I don't necessarily incur any legal wrath or anything like that. But Dragon Guard came out of a couple of different instances. One being on Drawn and Quartered with Mike and everybody's asking me, well, when are you going to do a Comicsgate book or whatever, and just when are you going to do a comic? Well, let's say that. When are you going to do a crowdfunded comic? And I'd been thinking about it, and I was like, what do I really like to draw? I didn't have anything rock solid in my head, but what do you really, 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 really like to draw? And I had been doing superheroes, but I really wanted to do something in the genre of like the 80s cartoons and the fantasy stuff. Not quite, it's not going to be super gritty. There's not blood and guts in that respect, because if you're not familiar, I wanted to do something that if you buy it, you're going to like it and enjoy it and go, holy hell, man, this looks good. But I also wanted you, if you have kids, we need kids. We need more fans, younger fans, the next wave of fans, And so I was hoping that this is a book that, because of the bright colors, it's partially what I dig about Alonzo's stuff, is that I wanted to make something that if you saw it, and maybe your kid sees you reading it and go, what's that? Or if you could climb up in your lap and check it out, and maybe they dig it, or you leave it on the coffee table and somebody goes, oh, okay, cool. And they start checking it out and flipping through it, and they go, man, this is pretty cool. So in some way, shape, or form, I wanted to give you something for the next generation of fans also, something that's kind of for not all ages, but PG-13. Doug Rick says John Carter novels are quite fun. The movie combines elements from the first couple of books. Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to read those, so that's another thing. going into it curious, but not knowing a darn thing about the lore. Um, but anyway, what I was saying before, touching back on the thread about the fantasy, doing Dragon Guard came from two things. One, having friends ask me, if I'm doing anything, if I'm doing a book, and having to think on the fly. And then the other thing is, um, I had a conversation. I'll try to not get too animated, not to get too angry. I don't want to be fly off the handle. I know that would be entertaining to some people, maybe. But I had a conversation back in August, I think, of last year. I want to say it's either early September or late August, maybe. And there was somebody that is attached to a certain reboot of a property that's going to be in your toy aisles later this year. And had asked me if I wanted to do some work for this said property, a fantasy property, a property that was on TV in the 80s. And they came to me and was kind of like, hey, I've got this. They hit me with a hard deadline in terms of they just gave it to me and they were like, hey, I need this next week. It's that kind of thing, or you need to start next week. And you have, about a week to draw 8 pages plus some promo artwork and things like that. So, I didn't know what he was hitting me up with at first. So the conversation kind of went like this. It was like, hey, man, what are you doing right now? I got something for you. What do you think? And I said, well, oh, that sounds cool. He couldn't tell me specifically because he is, non-disclosure and all that good stuff. But he couldn't tell me specifically what it was. And I understand that. But I had given this little backstory. I had given this person lots of free art before for charity auctions and things like that. And I, obviously not expecting anything for it. It was a kid's pediatric AIDS charity. And I gave him like 6 or 7 pieces of artwork. And then through the course of discussions with him for a few years, I'd given him some other pieces of artwork for free. And so, I was cool because of the subject matter and whatnot. But he comes to me with an email and says, hey, I've got this project. I need 8 pages and some promo art, in like a week. And that was pretty. I said, hey, man, I just needed to know what kind of time frame we're dealing with. And this is something you would ask any editor. And then he kind of responds to me. He gets really angry and he's just like, oh, well, maybe I should give this to somebody else. He's like, well, what? He said something or another. It's like, maybe you can't handle the deadline and this and that. I shouldn't have come to you. And it was really weird because all I asked him was what the deadline was, which is a normal thing you'd ask any editor. Any editor. And don't ever kid yourself. This is something that's a normal conversation you have with any editor. And just something simple. And then the conversation went 180, and then he started bringing up the past. He and I had fallen out, and then kind of smoothed everything out, I thought, and then just kind of lost it. And it was like, well, I don't think I can trust you to do this and whatnot. And I was like, well, dude, I've been working for Marvel for years, and they haven't had a problem with giving me repeated work. I worked for DC, didn't have problems with getting repeated work there. I don't know what your problem is with me. And he just asked me, well, what changed? Something stupid like that, really, just kept needling me about my professionalism, which was, silly to me at first anyway. So the conversation just devolved, and he was like, well, maybe one day I'll give you some work for this. And so the person wasn't serious. I think it was one of those things. Why would you go to somebody and take something as simple as what's my deadline as a problem, So there we go. Anyway, that's what happened. That kind of lit a fire under me. I wanted to do fantasy, and I wanted to do something fun. And it was kind of like, this is what I would do if I had the opportunity. This is how cool it would look. and I'm just going to make it the most badass thing I can. You know, I wanted to make it the most cool looking thing you guys can see. So, yeah, Junkyard Done. Yeah, I agree, man. And it became one of those things where if you go back and if I was looked at the conversation, I was like, this person had no intention. I don't think they had any intention of hiring me. I think they wanted to just lord it over me. Um, that they had it and they were going to take it and then yank it away because nobody would lose their mind over somebody asking something about. No one would sour the deal over somebody asking what your deadline is. You know, if you look at it calmly, if you look at the way the conversation had went, it definitely looked like there was some kind of intent to sabotage any idea of me doing it, or there was no intent at all of me doing it. He just wanted to kind of needle me. At least it's what it seemed like to me. Um, so anyway, that's some people that ask me, why aren't you working on this property? Why aren't you doing that? And I was like, well, I did work on it at one point. I did a short story, and if that's the only thing I'll do for it because certain people are making it difficult, then I guess that's what I'll have to get used to. But I'm going to do Dragon Guard, and I'm hoping that you guys will see it. You guys will love it. The fans of that property will love it. And maybe, one day people will see the error of the ways, I guess. Yeah, I don't want to sound high and mighty, but it was one of those conversations that really lit a fire under my rear. And, I guess with a lot of us, we don't like being told no. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But there we go. There's Mossman. There's a pretty cool Mossman. I hope that is rocking for you. Cool. Desert Biopunk. Hey, buddy. Hey, Nighthawk Warrior. I'm drawing Mossman right now. And my campaign, we're at 17 right now. Okay. Hey, there's Frank Williams. Frank, if I butcher your name, dude, you just understand. Quonzo? Sorry, man. I love you. Frank is a, for you guys out here, Frank is, he's coloring. I don't know whether or not to say it, should say it or not and give it away because I was thinking about just pulling a surprise. All right, we'll just go ahead and say it. Frank is coloring some of the drawn and quartered themed cards for Dragon Guard. And so Frank has turned in a amazing looking card. It's for the character Bahimagar, which I don't think I have my pages here for him. Trying to think if I brought any artwork with me. But anyway, he colored Eric Nienoltowski's Bahimagar card that will be there. And the drawn and quartered card set is going to feature several friends of mine that were gracious enough to lend me their talent. They're going to be, let's see, it's going to be Eric Nienoltowski. I have a commitment from Matt Cosson. Siege also she'll be drawing one. I'll be taking some of these drawings with the permission of certain fans and turning some of these sketches into cards. And so it'll be like a mini card set. It won't be a huge card set, but it'll be like a mini, it depends on what I can do financially, but it won't be a huge card set, but it will be something that Frank is coloring, and he's doing a great job. And let me see. We've got Mossman here. I want to wrap him up. And this is was this for Doug Riggs? I just want to double check to make sure. Kev sucks at surprises, can't keep a secret. Okay. Well, partially Zombie Kebab. I didn't know who was on board. I wanted to get Mike, and I know Mike. Me and Mike are talking about maybe doing some kind of cover or something like that. But anyway, um, Junkyard Done. Did you get a chance to do my request for Jill Valentine sketch? Junkyard Done. I don't have the sketch with me, but I do have it. I know you. I'm pretty sure you had mentioned the Jill Valentine. And so I do have that, and that will go out too, man. So rest assured, I know you've got one. Let me see. Captain Hiltz, what's up again? It looks like everything's working. Yeah, well, after a few hiccups there, Captain Hiltz, but glad to see you in here, buddy. Let me see. Frank is awesome. Let me see. But Junkyard Done, I got you covered, bud. Nighthawk Warrior, of course, I'm excited about Titan. Looking at one of the OG pages right now. That's awesome. Mark Anthony. I'm not going to repeat that, but well, all right, I'll say it. Jill Sandwich. That's funny. Thanks. I missed a few streams, so I just want to be safe and check. Yeah. Definitely we'll get you in there, okay? Doug, if you're still here, I just want to make sure. I'm pretty sure it was Doug Riggs. Yeah, okay. Let me make sure. Doug. Sign this. And Doug, you can, I'm going to type this in here. Oop. Yeah. Give, or let's see, Kevin Sharp Art at on Facebook anyway. Kevin Sharp Art on Facebook. So check me out there. Give me your address, Doug, and I'll mail that out to you. Okay. Nighthawk Warrior, see you, buddy. Glad you came in, man. All right, just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Okay, so here we are. If you're checking out the stream right now, here we go. I just finished up. Here you go, a lovely Moss Man from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. We're doing a free sketch live stream, and what that entails is that you go to in the description is a link for Dragon Guard. If you go to Dragon Guard, you check out what you like. See if you like it, check it out. Look at all the cool artwork. Come back here. I'm going to give you a free sketch. All you have to do is put your backer number in the description, who you are, what your backer number. I'll check it. I'll get an email alert and let me know. I'll check it and then come back and you get a free character of your choice. So I am free right at the moment because we have done Moss Man and I haven't seen anything. Let's see. Blue Boy Hobbies, thank you for the awesome Moss Man comment. Anyway, so the next thing is you just come back here, leave your backer number, I check it, and then you tell me what you want me to draw, and then I will draw it. Free sketch. It is 6x8, in case you want to know, and I'll ship that out to you. So the only thing I ask is if by chance, if by chance you want to chip in a little bit for shipping, that's awesome. You don't have to. Here's the thing. Free is free. Free is free, and you will get it. But if it's shipping to like foreign shipping, it would be appreciated definitely because, it gets a little expensive to ship it, and I'd kind of require that. But Wandel Diablo, Kevin has been doing some killer sketches. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, we've been doing this for a couple of weeks in a row now. 3 different shows. We might be on the 4th one, maybe. And, it's as simple as that. You just saw me do it. There's a Moss Man. I've got a few roughed out in case I need to start and I get a little overwhelmed. We got a few roughed out, but we got plenty of paper here right now, at least I think. So we can keep on going. And Zombie Bob, who is in the lead for the backer contest? Yeah. We have also just Wiggle Wiggle. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, buddy. Let me see. I'm glad you came in, bud. Basically, we have a backer contest going. If you go to the Indiegogo page, there'll be a little chain link right there. You'll see it over to the side on the right-hand side of the screen, or at least your right. And there's a chain link. You click that, copy that link, post that link into any of your Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and it tells you when you share it and you try to get people to back it, it tells Indiegogo, if people click your link and go buy it, it tells you who recommended them. And so it tells Indiegogo that so that you're a backer and it keeps track of that. So we've got a contest. The top 4 backers will get sketches and metal cards, I believe. So you can get a free sketch. The top prize is, the number 1 prize is I believe 11 by 17 single figure sketch. So that's a full comic page size sketch. Not a printed comic, but the art size we work on. Referral contest, yes. Wiggle Boomer edition, yes. Yeah, you weren't here earlier. I had some problem with one of my mics. I had an external mic hooked up, and I think it died. I think it finally gave up the ghost. So anyway, I had to restart it, and that's where we are now. But I'm looking. Right now, I'm going to Dragon Guard, and I'm checking that out. And I'll give you a little update. Let everybody a little bit of an update. Okay. All right, I'm looking at it right now, so it shouldn't take me too long to figure this out. Or it shouldn't. There we are. There's a little thing called referrals down at the bottom. Well, right now, oh, we got a few people in here. So here's how it stands right now. Right now, the top referrer, besides myself, obviously, is Captain Hiltz, I believe. I won't say who that is, but we'll leave it at that. Followed by the amazing, the magnanimous, the magical Mr. Mark Anthony. So you're in second. And let me see. I don't recognize any of the other names. Well, we have Jeremiah Jones would be in third. So anyway, there's where we stand. Some of our referrers. Besides Indicron, because I'm not sure Indicron counts. So Mark Anthony is second, and Captain Hiltz is leading the pack. Anyway, so we'll get back to it. So if you're checking it out right now, like, share, and get out there. And if you can get people to come in with their backer number, we'll go ahead and do this. Now, I told... Who is my man here? I'm trying to remember what his name was. I wonder if he's still out here. Okay, Tarks number 9. Tarks 9. Hello, Kevin. How's everybody? Cool. I'm glad you came in. It is awesome. Glad to see you in here. Juan Del Diablo is here. Okay, Desert Biopunk. Okay, Desert Biopunk. Can you tell me again your backer number, just off the occasion? If you're still in here, I'll go ahead, since we've got a little bit of a lull time, I will go ahead and do a sketch for you. Okay? And just let me know what character you want. That way we can keep things going. All right. And I am erasing kind of a light sketch where I just kind of roughed out some figures in case I needed it. I didn't know exactly how heavy the knight would go. I thought I had shared a few of them, but apparently I need to do a little bit more sharing, a little bit more aggravating people on Twitter and this and that, make sure everybody knows. Okay. So, yeah, so right now the backer leader is Captain Hiltz, and then Mark King is right behind. Some of the other people I won't say just because I don't know their screen names, and I don't necessarily want to dox anybody either. So we'll keep that. Oh, I think number 3 might be, or either 4. Maybe it might be 4. It might be Mecha McCheese. So I think number 4 at least is Mecha McCheese. And so what does everybody think about the shipping? Ooh, good one. Okay, yeah, that's right. Somebody had a evil Ernie at some point too. Oh, here comes Victor. There we go. Victor, remember Kevin Sharp? Mine was Bruce Willis, the Jackal. Wait a minute. Victor, didn't you ask for somebody a war from Darksiders? I thought you had asked for that. I didn't know you had asked for Bruce Willis. Okay. Yeah, Wanda Del Diablo. Yeah, I've got yours too. I got your Evil Ernie. Don't have it here with me, but I will have that. Oh, Desert Biopunk. Can you do Cloud from Final Fantasy VII? Yeah, man. All I have to do is look up the reference form, and then I can do that. All right. Mark Anthony bought to throw down on Facebook too. I'm coming for you, Captain Hiltz. All right, cool, dude. We got a little bit of a horse race there. Cool. Okay, so which one do you want, or am I crazy? You said mine was Bruce Willis, the Jackal. I know the movie it's from, but I was like, did you want to make that instead of War, or just curious? All right, Desert Biopunk. Yep, buddy. I'm going to start right now on. Let's see. We're starting on Cloud. What was it, Cloud? Maybe I'm goofy. Oh yeah, about. Just take a look at the chat here. Yeah, Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Okay, all right, that's what we're doing. Okay, I'm looking it up right now. All right, looking up Cloud. Okay. Making sure I got some kind of reference. All right, cool. Getting ready. All right, here we go. Our next character is Cloud. All right. And yeah, I know Cloud's not a beefy guy, so we're gonna work on slimming him down just a tad bit. Really simple. Get that hair right. All right. Some of the details I'm just trying to check out, make sure I get right. While we're doing the virus quarantine thing, uh, rented the new Jumanji movie for the youngsters, and well, the stepson, he has already seen it, but my youngest, she liked it, and I thought it was great. I was surprised that it was as good as, or at least it seemed to me, it was as good as the first one. Um, had a lot of interesting stuff. It's a shame the guy that played the Hound in Game of Thrones, he was in it, but I don't think they gave him nearly enough speaking role or speaking lines, I guess, in the movie. Yeah, it's become a Final Fantasy stream now. Everybody's really happy about that. Hey, Frank Wanzo, later, Kev. Looking forward to the next card. Yeah, definitely. I'll be getting you some files here. Um, the link from Indiegogo isn't automatically generating a preview image. I'm not sure. Um, it should be. I don't know what would be the issue and exactly. I'm not sure if there was something. I don't know if I did something wrong or. Um, good seeing you, Frank. Though. Thanks for stopping in, man. Let's see. Now, some of the maybe you guys can help me in the chat. Some of you guys just figuring. I've seen some of the concept art, and it appears like some of the. I guess maybe it's for the new games. I guess the. Uh, what is it? I'm not sure exactly what you would call it. Is it a reboot or a just an upgrade on Final Fantasy VII to the new consoles? Um, a remastering or something like that. But he looks a little bit effeminate in some of the character stills that I see. I'm going to say he's a dude, but can anybody verify? Just so I know. Yeah, it's a remake. Okay, cool. Wiggle Will, yeah, he got a Jane last night. Yeah, Desert Biopunk. Yeah, the I don't know what it is. I liked the new Jumanji movie. I it's one of those things I liked the first one, but I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep that kind of silliness or the lightheartedness of it, but still make it interesting and not repeat itself. I know that kind of Deadpool kind of ventured into that territory where it would kind of repeat itself a little bit with some of the gags, the jokes, or whatever. And not to say that it was bad. I mean, I still enjoyed Deadpool, but it definitely wasn't. You know, I was worried that they wouldn't be able to be as good as the first one, and I think this one was as good, if not better, than the first one. Um, Kevin Hart did a really good Danny Glover impersonation, so I was pleasantly surprised by that. Um, you know, I don't know about The Rock's Danny DeVito. Um, I'm not sure. It's one of those things. Danny DeVito has a distinctive voice, but it's not so much an accent. You know, I don't hear as much of an accent as I hear a distinctive voice that Danny DeVito has. So I don't know if you can replicate that in terms of, you know, so I won't say that The Rock did a bad job in, you know, uh, I don't know. Not, I'm not saying he did a bad job, but sorry, I'm hearing a strange noise. So anyway, but you know, it's one of those things where he, you know, The Rock's not going to, you know, I don't think he did a bad job trying to imitate Danny DeVito, but Danny, you know, trying to do that voice is not not good. Um, you know, I don't think anybody can replicate that. You know, Danny DeVito's voice is very distinctive, and it's not something that I think is more attributed to an accent as it is just a distinctive sound of his voice. Um, Zombie kebab feeling and disturbance. Yeah, yeah. It's weird. I keep hearing a dog barking sound for some reason, and uh, Zombie kebab knows that there really isn't a dog around this area that we're familiar with. So kind of weird. Alrighty. Yeah, Mark Anthony, he's a dude. Yeah, okay, all right. I thought so. Don't get me wrong. I don't know a lot about the games, but I kind of took that he was a guy. Just some of um, the remake art seems to be from the graphics. It seems very effeminate. So, um, all right. Let me see if I can get this hair under control. Get his hair under control because I want it to be as accurate as I can get it. There we go. Now I'm running off the paper. Okay. Boom. Androgynous is the word. Yeah. Yeah. That was the word I was looking for. And I appreciate you helping me there. Yeah. It doesn't seem so much. That's the thing. It doesn't seem so much in the older artwork, but in the CGI now, it really it's seems to me in some of the pictures that it really looks more androgynous. So I'm appreciating the fans of the game to correct me or to set me straight on where I'm going with it. Let's see. Yeah, no, yeah, Mark Anthony. Yeah, I'm maybe so. I guess what I'm saying is I think I don't know why, but it was more when I look at some of these stills, it was more in the older game. For some reason, it just felt like there was more. It was more obvious. I don't know. It just there's a couple of pieces or pictures I'm looking at that I'm referencing, and it really, whew, it's a hard call. Other than his physique, I could not tell you if that was meant to be a dude or not. So. All right. So we got his rough in here. And if you're just checking in, we're doing free sketches for backers tonight. Free sketches for backers. So if you jump in, help us keep going. We're at a little over 17.5 right now on Dragon Guard, and we want to get punch those numbers up. We want it to do well. As we hit our funding goal, which is 13, and the thing about it is that for me, now we're venturing into territory where I can actually start giving myself a little bit to pay myself, because the 13 covered all just the production costs. It covers the printing, it covers the shipping. It covers the Indiegogo fees. It covers some of the other stuff, but I don't start getting paid until we really start punching up the numbers. And so, you know, like I tell everybody, please check it out. Please back us. I don't necessarily want to be irresponsible. I don't want you to be irresponsible with your cash or anything. I know it's a tough time out there with everything going on. So I won't push you, but there's, if you check out the book, you look at it and say, I gotta have it, then please do help support us. Alrighty. And I'm drawing Cloud from Final Fantasy VII right now. But anyway, if you're coming in, go check out the link in the description. We have Dragon Guard, and we're pushing the book tonight. We're going to do free sketches for another hour or so at least, depending on the reception we get, how many people are in here. We want to keep it going for a little bit longer. And so you have a chance to go out there now, check out the link in the description, go to that, check out Dragon Guard. It's a fantasy book in the vein of a lot of your 80s cartoons and things like that. I don't know why I want to keep drawing him with sleeves. He doesn't have sleeves. And check out Dragon Guard. It's a fantasy book. A lot of the details there. Check it out. Look at all the cool artwork I posted. The goal is to give you a really professional looking art for your crowdfunding type books. You'll know that I'm a former Marvel and DC artist. I've also worked for Dynamite Entertainment. I did let's see, I did Army of Darkness for Dynamite Entertainment. I also did for Wildstorm, I did Resident Evil. At one time, I was considered for a God of War comic. Let me see, what else? I've done a ton of stuff for Marvel, DC, like Man of Steel, fill-in issues on Man of Steel. I did JLA Rise and Fall of Arsenal, I think it was called. Geez, I'm trying to think of Black Panther, Thor, Extreme X-Men: The Savage Land, ton of stuff. Oh, sorry, hit the camera. I'm having trouble talking. They've gone. That was my thought when I saw your project on Indiegogo. Let me see. Maybe I missed something in the conversation. Yeah, Wiggle, man, God of War would have fit your stuff. Yeah, I did a tryout piece, much like I did for Resident Evil, and Resident Evil just I did some stuff for other stuff for Capcom, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. There was a Steelbook edition with a comic included, a comic and I think a T-shirt and other stuff in the Steelbook edition of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I did that, and I had a great time. The editor I was working with was amazing, a nice dude. He's very supportive of what I was doing on the book and dealing with Capcom and whatnot. But the Resident Evil people was not as fun a job as I would have liked. There were a lot of corrections, and there were a lot of corrections up to the time that we were up to printing, and so it was kind of at least on the penciling end, it was a miserable kind of experience because it was so hard. Everything was being changed and edited and changed again, and so it wasn't as fun, and it was so weird because I was excited. I got myself pumped up for it because I didn't play Resident Evil. It's not a game I've been a Xbox guy for as long as there's been an Xbox. I've been a Sega guy before then, and so I didn't really know anything about Resident Evil. And then it was for Resident Evil 5, and Resident Evil 5, I was like, dude, who, they put that really cool BSA a costume on Chris, and I was like, dude, that looks so cool. That would be fun to draw. And I was 15 pages into the story, and then they decided that I guess they were closing ranks, or they were tightening the ship a little bit, and they didn't. I guess they wanted more control, so they gutted the story and took Chris out of it, Chris and Jill out of the story, so that it wasn't anything like the video game. It was all new characters, and then I had to go halfway into the story and redesign and create new characters for it. And so if that gives you any kind of idea of the crazy stuff I was up against, doing stuff for the Resident Evil folks. And I was so excited because I was like, I didn't know anything about the game, didn't have any connection. But as soon as I saw, they sent me privately some reference, and part of the reference was some story cinematics. And I saw that costume he had, and I was like, dude, that is so awesome. I definitely have to draw that. That's right up, right up my alley. Like his look was definitely, is like, dude, you can rock that. And then they just turned around and 15 pages in, and just changed everything. And they wanted, I don't know specifically what the deal was, but they changed everything, made it all new characters in the story, and they only vaguely were related to the story. So that's what it's like sometimes being an artist on these things. All right, now we got Cloud. We got a Cloud sketch in here. Okay. And I'll get in here and start eating. And but anyway, that's just some of the crazy stuff. You will deal with some odd situations, and it's part of the reason I had to leave the project, because we got into issue 2, and it was becoming, maybe it was for issue 3 that they gave me the crazy deadline, but we were fighting so hard with the deadlines and trying to get the book ready for print, and there were just constant changes coming in left and right, and it finally just, it was a little too much for me. I was having some health issues, staying up, late at night. Basically, I would be staying up trying to do all-nighters and stuff, and I don't know, whatever the case may be, but it was affecting my health. And I was like, dude, I just know that I won't be able to do this again. I won't be able to do that kind of schedule from them if they keep interfering with the book. And which, I'm not saying they didn't have a right to. It's their characters and stuff, but there's a certain reality about publishing and printing the books, and they were hamstringing some of the book production by doing all those crazy changes. So it was a nightmare for me anyway. Alrighty. And the chat seems to be slowing down a little bit. But for everybody else, if you're tuning in, here's the deal. We're doing free sketches for backers. Free sketches for backers. So if you jump in, check out the link in the description. Go there. Check out my book, Dragon Guard. It's a fantasy book. We're looking at 60 pages story, and it's just it's a passion project for me. It's one of those things where it's a love letter to a lot of the cartoons of the 80s, like Thundercats, Visionaries, He-Man, Conan, even books like Battle Chasers from the 90s, and just things that I really love, the type of fantasy stuff that I really love drawing. And if you go there, back the book, you'll be given a backer number. Come back here, introduce yourself, put your backer number in the chat, and then I will draw you a free sketch, 6x8. You're seeing it here. Boom, boom, boom. Tonight, live on stream. And do that during the stream. It only applies really to people during the stream, okay? We're doing a lot of promotion here, trying to get everybody excited. And I'm trying to learn all the details. Right now I'm drawing Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, the remake. And he's got some pretty cool kind of suspender type things going on here. It looks pretty cool. The redesign. Boom. Okay, he's got a big collar. Okay, all right. I don't know if everybody saw today, but on Twitch, Jim Lee was doing one of his. They've got he's been doing basically. He's doing like 60 days of 60 drawings to benefit comic shops. And if you know anything about Jim Lee, his stuff goes for crazy money, and he's doing this to benefit the comic shop. So today he decided to stream from Twitch. He used to do that on a lot of Sundays. He would stream from Twitch and then do giveaways for channel members and things like that. So you'd sometimes get a free sketch from Jim Lee if you're lucky. Or either if you donated to a certain tier on Twitch, then you would get the sketch that he was doing that Sunday or whatever. And it was really great because he would sometimes do pages from his Superman 1000, I think. And that was amazing. You get to see him work and pick his brain and see, you know, what he's like under a deadline and things like that. So it was really fun. But today he was doing one of his donation sketches live. I think it went on for about two or 3 hours, maybe 4. Maybe I'd have to go back and check. But yeah, he did an Aquaman today, and I'd like to see him branch out and try other characters, but mostly it's been the DC pantheon. Might be a reason for that. I won't criticize him too much for that. You know, being the main publisher at DC right now. So cool, man. All right, I'm just checking out the chat, making sure what everybody's thinking, what everybody's doing. So if you get a chance to share, like, all that good stuff, help me out. Help get the word out on Dragon Guard, and then you get something out of it too for the referrals. But more importantly, tonight, if you're checking me out tonight on YouTube, we are streaming. I probably should. I was thinking I should go into the YouTube or to Twitter and let everybody know that other link was dead. If you didn't catch it earlier, I had some audio problems with the mic. I think the mic I was using, the external mic, had died. So now you're hearing me through my HD camera right now. Hopefully you guys can see the artwork being made. And I'm just checking out my Cloud reference. Okay, he's got looks like a long gauntlet. Let's see. But drawing going back to what I was saying before, it was Rodwell Stevens. Hey, buddy. You've got a package coming, man. Sounds fine. Looks good. All right. Cool. But I was talking about Resident Evil, and then I also did Capcom versus Marvel 3, the video game. I did the tie-in comic that went out in the Steelbook editions, and I had a lot of fun on that. My editor was cool, and all the characters I got to draw in there was really dang cool. I got to finally draw Chris in the BSA outfit, I think, and And believe it or not, again, home to controversy. I don't know. I don't know how much I can talk about this, but right around the time I did that, maybe enough years have passed. Maybe it's okay to speak about it. But right around the time that I did that, it was getting close to Christmas for that year. I want to say it was it 2013 or something like that, maybe. Um, 2012, 2013, and somebody on my crew had made the mistake of putting those pages. I don't want to say it's all water under the bridge for me. I'm just in the terms of telling the story, but somebody had put the pages on an art site to sell them because he was the inker. Or well, anyway, can't say anything. But anyway, I won't go too much further with that. But anyway, these video game sites, as you know, the video game sites as they were, they ran with it, and the thing about it is when the person put the pages up, they put my name in the headers of every file. So when it appeared on the site where they were selling it, which they shouldn't have been selling because the game hadn't came out and this and that, there were spoilers all in these pages. And I started getting flack on all these video game sites. It's like, oh, the rumor is this, the rumor is this. And then they were saying artist Kevin Sharp leaked the pages. And it was like, I didn't even know about it until I got a call that these people were, you know, I got a call from certain people, and they said, "Hey, man, calm down. Don't worry about it. You know, you're not in trouble. You didn't do this." And and I was like, "Okay, that's cool. It's cool. I didn't know about it, but okay, that's cool. I'm glad you guys aren't mad at me." And kind of, you know, it was one of those things. All these video game sites ran with this thing that I had leaked the list of characters from the video game, and I was just flabbergasted. I was like, "What?" And so, you know, it was one of those things. I had been trying to build my rep. In my earlier years, I was a little bit, you know, looser and kind of free spirited, and didn't take things as seriously as I should have. We'll say that. Sometimes we had occasions where I'd fight with people a little too much or whatever. It wasn't an ego thing. It was just kind of one of those things where you hadn't had enough work. You were a novice and hadn't had enough work under your belt. You didn't understand certain etiquette and things like that. You didn't know about it. You learn these things as you go. But yeah, all these video game sites were trying to say that I leaked it, and oh man, it was crazy. For a project that I had so much fun on, it became such a kind of a nightmare to see your name get dragged through the mud on video game sites and stuff, and you just go, you know, dude, I didn't do this, and they're just, you know, throwing out rumor after rumor. Oh, you leaked this and you leaked that. Junkyard done, backed again. Kevin, had to get my reading copies. Cool, 271, sweet buddy. Can you do a Tifa sketch? Got to keep with the theme. I'll shoot, dude, man, absolutely, absolutely. You'll be next in line. Kevin Sharp, you playing Final Fantasy? If so, have you heard the theme song yet? No, I haven't, man. That's one of those things. I never grew up with Final Fantasy because I was a kind of an Xbox guy. I had heard about it. My roommate, who was also my cousin, he was a huge Final Fantasy fan, and so I knew little bits and pieces of it, but I did not play it. I am looking at it because I just want something. You know, my favorite game is Dragon Guard. Hey, Ghidra76. Hey, buddy. Glad to see you in here. Dude, Junkyard done. I'm doing it for you, man. Let me get some of the blacks filled in on this sketch, and then you're right up. Tifa's the one with the suspenders, and she's very healthy. I will say that to be respectful for all the people that may be watching. Let's see. Okay, now I'm gonna find. Give me a second. I'm gonna find some of my brush pens so I can fill in large areas without taking a bazillion years to draw it. Okay, we're working on it. We're getting there. Mark Anthony, yes. Junkyard Dad, yes, healthy. Oh, Mark Anthony, yeah, my favorite game is Dragon. Yeah, sorry, yeah, I meant to say Dragon Age. Yes, my favorite game is Dragon Age. I enjoy the hell out of those games. Um, Somebody in my household enjoys the game even more, and she plays at least 4 or 5, 6, 7 different run throughs. Um, Mark Anthony, no, Dragon Age, Dragon Age Origins, a whole bunch. Yeah. Anyway, the DLC, everything about that game is good, man. If you like fantasy, it's so good. Um, Wiggle Wiggle, they kind of made her small in the remake. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking into possibly playing the remake just because it looks good. I hear enough good things. You know, why not give it a try? But at the same time, here's the thing. Here's the tricky thing. And I see your game you guys out there are trying to do to me. I get you. Um, I got a book to draw. So making time to play games is kind of non-existent, especially with this Kickstarter, or not Kickstarter. I don't know why I said that. Indiegogo and doing Dragon Guard is that dude, if you're a comics fan, one of the things you find, I don't care who it is, but one of the biggest problems you have is if you have an artist who's a gamer, you're going to get late stuff, or at least they turn in late stuff. It's almost assured. Um, some people get reputations for being a little late because they spend a little time, too much time sitting on the video game. And so I have to watch that. Me personally, I'm not attacking anybody, but I just, be responsible. Maybe there's time after I finish Dragon Guard, I also have a 8-year-old, or she's going to be 8 soon. So there's not a lot of time, but it looks like a good game. Yeah, Mark Anthony. Yeah. I love them. I love getting immersed into them. I'm generally speaking, I used to really love solely just playing racing games and wrestling games. I really enjoy creating characters on wrestling. I spend more time creating characters or trying to make wrestlers that aren't in the game and make them look really, accurate and stuff. I spend more time in that than actually playing the wrestling games a lot of times. With those games, they don't have a high addiction factor. It's kind of a one and done. You go in and you play a couple of matches and then you're done. Or you play a few tracks or run a few tracks in a racing game and you can put it down. With role playing games, you are immersed in it, and then the next thing you know, 4 hours have passed. And Ghidra 76, yeah, exactly. Doug Riggs, Mario Kart, yeah, it's a fun looking game. Oh yeah. Wiggle. I've been playing Battle Chasers Night Watch. I just got that for the Switch. I'm gonna maybe delve into it. A thing I like about the Switch is that you can take it everywhere, and so you don't necessarily have to get immersed with just sitting at the game at home, and that's what's cool. And I don't have to necessarily be sucked into it. But yeah, my problem with any kind of role playing games is you get sucked into it, and the next thing you look around and you're like 4 hours have passed or something. Yeah. I do love Soul Calibur. Sir Shabby. Well, Sir Shabby, there's a new one, man. Hey, thank you for coming in. So we got a lot of people in tonight. A lot of people I don't recognize. Cool. In case you don't know, I am doing a little book called Dragon Guard, and it's on Indiegogo right now. We're trying to fund for that. And so tonight, what I'm doing, in case you haven't heard, is I'm doing free sketches for backers. So that means if you back tonight during the stream, during the duration of the stream, you can hit me up with your backer number in the chat. Just put your backer number, not your information. I don't want you to dox yourself or anything like that. Just put your backer number. It gives you a number which which one you are. Then I'll check in my email. It'll give me an alert. It'll let me know somebody's backed. And then I'll check your number, make sure it matches up. And then all you have to do is tell me what character you want. And then we go from there. So you will get a free sketch. I only ask slightly, if you could, give me a little something for, if you can, maybe donate something for shipping, because shipping isn't free for me. So, but like I said, you don't have to, you're already contributing and backing the book, but it'll be helpful. There's nothing wrong with that. And, but like I tell you, free is free. So you're guaranteed to get it no matter what. I only ask, really consider, if you're from another country, kind of have to ask for a little help with the shipping. It gets expensive. But anyway, I am doing Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. I'm assuming I'm doing the remake. And there we go. There's my character sketch. Desert Biopunk. I pretty much spent all my time in the character creator. Yeah, that's... Hey, Trusty Sidekick is back again. I saw you in here earlier. Maybe that was on the other stream where I goofed up. But there we go. There's Cloud. And my brush is all... God, man, this brush is kept getting snagged in the pencil top. I don't know if you guys can see that, but those are bristles all junked up and stuff on the pen and the Bimoji. You can see, oh, there we go. There we go. See the, but anyway, you can see the, yeah, it's been through hell. All right, boom. Put a little shadow on those spikes. Okay, alrighty. Well, forgive me. I don't know if those are supposed to be spikes, but we're still going to make it look cool. Okay, we'll make it look cool. I'm looking at the model, and I might have been slightly overzealous with the spike things motif. Yeah, for some King Ghidorah, I'm sorry, 76. Yeah, for whatever reason, the bristles got caught in the pen top, and once they get bent, they just won't go back, no matter what. Or at least if they do, I don't know the technique for fixing them. So I have a couple others here on standby. And some of these are just for holding lines. Some of the brushes are for just filling in stuff. All right, let me get Clouds here. Okay, this will be an Americanized version of Cloud. That's what I'll tell myself. All right. Okay, boom. And what I'm going to do is sign this bad boy. And this was for... I'm going to put your name on here. This was for... this was for you, right, Desert Biopunk? Yeah, Bolt. Yeah, I just noticed that. I was like, hey, well, I need new glasses. That's part of the problem. And I can't do anything about that right now because of the quarantine. The local eye doctors that I usually deal with, they're closed for the foreseeable. Yeah, they are Bolt. See, yeah, bad eyesight. Um, anyway, boom. So, Desert Biopunk. In case you haven't seen it, uh, um, here's the information. If you're out there now checking it out, I'm giving you the information where you can send me your uh, send me your mailing information. Let me get this down right now. Okay. Excuse my arm. All right. And Kevin Sharp. Kevin Sharp Art on Facebook. Look for Kevin Sharp Art on Facebook or the other address I give you right here and send me your information. And the next one is my man, Junkyard Dunn. So he wants a Tifa. So that's what we're going to do. Next one up is Tifa. He's the next backer. Ghidra, yeah, the Grifter, the other. Yo, thank you, man. I appreciate it, buddy. Um, oh, cool. Trusty Sidekick tries any optical online when buying glasses. I've been using them for years. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, the guy I went to here locally did a great job with getting my dimension. Like, man, the first time he had gotten my dimensions of my face and measured my eye distance and all that other stuff, and I've never had eye optometrist do that before, where he went so detailed with it, and especially with my diabetes now. Um, uh, with my diabetes, there's there's potential for things getting bad. Luckily, my eyes apparently I've either caught the diabetes in time to slow the degradation, but they were one optometrist I went to were saying that we're going to need bifocals next time around, and that was like 3 years ago. And this time around, they checked everything out, and that the degradation had slowed down, and so that I don't need bifocals right now. So that was a relief, man. Jamie Ramirez art, cool, dude. Very cool of you to do these free sketches for backers again. Yeah, Jamie, can you contact me? I think you got me on Twitter, right? Contact me again because I don't think you left your address. Um, I think you told me what character you got, but you didn't leave your address, maybe. Um, just get that to me and I'll send yours out like immediately. Okay. I sent the first batch of sketches last Friday, and so everything's going out. We've got a large group of people going out and stuff. So you're not behind, or we're not behind. So just make sure if you could just resend me. If you did send me your information, send it to me again, just to make sure. Okay, cool. And yeah, and also I caught your note where I accidentally wrote down Jamie Rodriguez. I got you. I understand. That wasn't any worry. I corrected that. So um, let's see. Okay, now we're gonna go to Tifa. All right. For my man Junkyard Dunn, who was nice enough to back me again. All right. Let's see. Yes. So we're gonna do a Tifa. Okay, she's pretty simple. That's not too hard. I was worried of that because I didn't know the characters very well, that it might be a difficult, you know, Might be difficult to get all their details down, but I don't think this is a problem. Looks like she's got a some kind of guard or cybernetic arm or something. Maybe not cybernetic, but some kind of heavily armored arm. See if I can do something nice here. So you're seeing me doing this live right here. City of Heroes is back. Desert Punk Biopunk says. That's cool. I hear a lot of good things. First Jim Lee and now you. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Jim was live streaming today doing a very cool Aquaman charity piece. I'm roughing in the basically the rib cage detail, the shapes. Shoulder. Surf the shoulder up a little bit. I'm going to try to okay. Cool. I'm going to try to color that piece when he posted. Oh yeah, the Aquaman. Cool, man. He's got these suspenders or straps, not suspenders, but straps, whatever you want to say. So we're going with Final Fantasy, and everybody out there is checking us out tonight. If you're here, if you back Dragon Guard, look in the description. There's a link for my comic. It's a fantasy comic. It is a love letter to the 80s cartoons that you kind of dig, like Thundercats and He-Man, Visionaries, Sectars, Gargoyles, all that kind of stuff that you loved. If you dig that, then I think you'll like Dragon Guard. I think you'll really dig the artwork. I hope. If you just remember when it used to be really cool that we go to the comic shops, and like when Image was first booming, and you had like Pit and the Wildcats and Spawn and everything else, Cyberforce, and it was exciting to go back. And I want to get back to kind of things like that. I don't want to worry about politics. I don't want to worry about any kind of heavy message or heavy political influence of any kind in the book. No soy, as they say. And anyway, I just want you to have fun. Just want you to have fun with it. And that's the kind of book Dragon Guard is. It's just having fun. Escapism. Just fun escapism. The comics used to be. All right. Keep his hair. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see what other gloves are. Boom, boom, boom. I've got an iPad over here open with our reference. So you guys are seeing the construction lines I usually throw down, and think she's got earrings on from what the reference I'm seeing. Yeah, definitely. All right. Wiggle, wiggle. Amen. No soy, just badassery. Yeah, there we go. Um, I just want everybody to have fun. I don't want to put anything I've got to say in there. I mean, be like even if you were watching He-Man and Thundercats, there was always those morals and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with saying stealing is bad or something like that. But it won't be any kind of stories where I'm trying to foist a political opinion on you. This is all just good guys versus bad guys, uh, fun storytelling techniques or things like that. I don't want to beat you over the head with my thoughts about anything. That's the great thing about doing a fantasy, and it takes place on another planet. You know, is none of that stuff has to apply. None of that has to. There's no rules for it. There's no need. There's no reason to do any of that stuff, and I think that makes it a nice level playing field for the type of stories you do, and automatically keeps you from having to necessarily play by those rules or do the stories that would sound like they were, um, political or things like that. We don't have to get bogged down with that. Yeah, at least it's not a reboot of something we love and then it gets destroyed with killing our favorite character. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just pure escapism and Trusty Sidekick says Kevin just wants everybody to Wang Chung tonight. Exactly. Everybody have fun tonight. Anyway, that's what I want us to have. And just get back to having fun comics, man. I don't need to fight. I don't want to insult my peers. I don't want to, I just let's just draw some damn cool books and let the chips fall where they may. Um, let's draw something cool. Let's enjoy the damn things, and get that energy up. You, you know, be excited about what you're drawing. Be excited about the push ourselves to be better, more exciting artists or something. Anything other than just getting kind of wound up in having to put somebody's goofy political message or something in the books. Let's just enjoy what it is. Um, that's the only that's the way I want to have fun. All right, cool. Desert Biopunk, be right back. My work needs me to actually work. Oh, thank you, brother. Well, it's good having you along for the ride there. Okay. Um, so here we go. We got Tifa. I'm going to be starting on. I just want to refine her face a little bit more. Um, it's very important to me that she looks. Um, well, let me put it another way. I'm not known for my females. So uh, it's always something I want to improve on, and so I want her features to look well. Look sexy enough, I guess. That's her hair. So there be no drama in the stream. We're good. Mark Anthony, yeah, we'll give you all the practice then. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. I'm cool with it. It gives me a little time to actually sit here and go, okay, I got a reason to just practice this, or look for something, make it look nice. Um, um, I tell you what, here's a I guess a fun topic or something to change gears here a little bit. And before I do that, I just want to say if you're coming into the stream and checking it out, we're doing a free drawing stream. You're getting a free sketch. Boom, boom, boom. You get a free sketch for backing Dragon Guard during the show, during the live show right now. You can find the link to Dragon Guard in the description or here in the chat. I know Captain Hiltz was here. I don't know if he's still here right now, but we'll check the description. Go to the link. Check out Dragon Guard. If you love comics, you love fantasy comics, go check that out. If you back Dragon Guard at any tier, any of the tiers you see on the side, and you back us, you'll be given a number. Take that number, remember it, come back here, write it down. Oh, we got Mark Anthony. Aerith, please. Mark Anthony, did you go and back me again? Sweet, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can make that happen. Okay. And so everybody out there, if you're streaming and you want a free sketch, I'm going to be here for a little bit longer. We're going to try to keep this around 2 or 3 hours, just because I have a family to go home to, and I don't want to get strung up and gutted like the guys hanging from the trees in Predator. But anyway, we're going to keep doing this, keep rocking and rolling. And all you have to do is give me your backer number like Mark Anthony just did. And his number is 273. And if you get a number, you come back here, tell me what that is, tell me what character you would like, and I will draw it for you on the 6x8 size paper. And that is all you got to do. Now, also, I'll just add real quickly that if you're so kind and generous, if you happen to want to throw in a little bit for shipping, since this is a free drawing, since these are free drawings, it would be much appreciated. It just helps me pay for all these because sometimes postage is not cheap. But we're here, and all you have to do is give me that backer number. And you know, I'm trying to make it fun for the backers to give you a little idea of what you can expect. At some of these tiers, you might get a sketch. I know I also have stretch goals. So if we hit these, you help me get this, make this a success. We're going to get stretch goals, and these stretch goals can either be cards that'll be unlocked, extra pages of story that will be unlocked. These are things that if we reach certain funding goals and we get there, we make this much money, we can do this for you. And so that's how that works. And also one of the things I wanted to say was, how do you guys feel? Because somebody that is a benefactor to me, that's really been really nice to me and my family, as far as they've been buying a lot of commissions and things, contacted me and asked me, did I have a T or a perk for a black and white pencils only version of the book? In other words, it would be lettered, but you get to see the pencils, the high-res pencils, and read it like that. Now, that was an idea that I really like. I tell you, Joe Madureira, Marvel did that with Joe Madureira. That's the most, you know, the most, I guess. I'm trying to think of the word, but it's the most recent thing in my memory that they did. But it was all of his Ultimates pages. He did the Ultimates miniseries, Ultimates 3, and he did those all in pencil. There was a version, it was a hardbound book, and it looked great. You know, it was just fun seeing his original pencils. Somebody stole it from me at a con. I had it at the table and it was gone. Yeah, that's what I want to. Yes, exactly. Gabriel Hush had it too. They had a version with just Scott Williams inks on Jim Lee, and then I think there even was the pencil version. And so, yeah, like the Unwrapped series, exactly. So I figured I would ask you guys, what would you think about that as a stretch goal? Or it may be another campaign that, you know, as I get this done, I can, since the work is done and everything's good, and all it would take was just dropping in some lettering files. I was thinking about possibly, if you like my art that much, if you really dig it, that maybe we offer a version of that where it's just the pencils. other than the logos. We'll throw a little, keep a little color on the cover by having the logos. But I thought it would be something. It was a cool idea. So it seems that you guys seem to like that idea. Cool. All right. Because I wanted to get an idea on it. This person that was a generous soul who's been a long time backer. Um, or not backer in terms of the comic, but he's bought my artwork a lot. He really wanted to see um, what I had done. So thank you. So thank you guys for telling me, and thank you to Mark Anthony. Um, Thank you to everybody else so far that has backed Dragon Guard. It's been great that you guys did that. Um, and it's amazing, guys. Thank you. Um, so far tonight, it's been pretty off the hook. I really enjoy that you guys are doing this. So I'm going to get in here and draw Tifa's. I just need to find some reference for her, what looks to be her armor. If I can find that. All right. Let's see. I got a good shot of that now. Okay. That's the only thing. Sometimes it slows me down a little bit if I don't know a character's costume or look or something like that. Sometimes it slows me down just a little bit. So bear with me. All right, Andrew J. Hey, everybody. Cool, man. Good seeing you. So we have Tarks 9. Tark says, yeah, I have that issue, Ultimates 3, #1. Yeah, Tarks, they actually did a hardcover that had all the issues, not just the #1. I am aware of it. I still have the issue #1. I don't have the hardcover anymore. Somebody ripped it off from me at a convention. But yeah, it's hard to find. I'm trying to find it now, but there is a hardcover with all of the issues in pencil. So yeah, I just did Cloud. Okay, Andrew J. I'll be nice here. The first one was Moss Man from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and then here's Cloud. We got a little bit of Cloud in here, sort of an Americanized version of Cloud, I guess. Joker Don, if you look at Weldon's Sideshow 66 campaign, they offered a hardbound 11x17 book. Hardbound 11x17? Holy cow. That's just Weldon's pencils and inks. Interested to see how it turns out. Love to see Dragon Guard. Like, yeah, dude. I was thinking about a comic size version because I think when you get into printing that large, it gets really expensive. I know that IDW, or no, maybe it wasn't IDW, or somebody put out Jim's X-Men run on a giant size 11x17, but it wasn't just the pencils and inks. It was I want to say it was just the full color original. It's printed from the original pages, or the original colored pages, but they did a good chunk of it. Jim's run on X-Men. At 11x17, I think it's pretty expensive. Andrew J. I would treasure a Kevin Sharp sketchbook. Yeah, Andrew J. I've got that in the stretch goals that we're going to do a sketchbook that you guys can have available if we pass those funding goals. So we need people to back and get to that point. Keep sharing it out. Yeah, exactly. Comic size would be cool too. Polito includes it as a stretch goal and prints on newsprint. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure about newsprint just because I'm hearing rumors, and I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But then again, I'm not printing. I'm not in the ins and out of printing. But people are trying to say that somehow newsprint is more expensive than regular print nowadays. Maybe it was Eric Larson or something that said that. And I was just like, okay. I don't see how, but I mean, maybe it's because of the volumes that they print at, that they get cheaper discounts, maybe. I don't know. It sounds crazy to me, but anyway. Zombie Kebab says $200 away from 18. All right, great guys, thank you, everybody out there, man. That is awesome of you. Yeah, but I love having this conversation because like I said, I talked to a friend, a friend that backs me, um, gives me a lot of commission work and stuff, and he was very interested in seeing the book as a black and white, just pencils only version. And the only question is how to make that happen. It's like, is it a separate campaign? Is it a stretch goal? Um, Maybe a separate campaign, because then some of that would, let's say I can't make a lot of money on this to afford um, paying myself a decent amount on this, but maybe since all the work is done and everything on that, then a separate campaign would pay me basically, other than the printing would pay me. That would be helpful, but we'll see. Roscoe Davis, just a couple more big backers, and I'll be there. Cool, or we'll be there. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream. That's awesome too. Everybody out there, what we're doing is free sketches tonight. Um, I'm noodling a lot on this Tifa, just to uh, get it to where I can ink it the way I like to. Um, Checking out Tifa, my Tifa reference. Okay. And I'll quit yammering. Trusty sidekick, do it as a separate campaign. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. I mean, stretch goal, depending on how successful we are, it's not a bad idea either. It just it becomes a point of funding the printing and things, and whether or not the printing is the extra cost on my end with this campaign versus doing it as a separate campaign, and it pays kind of for itself. So there we go. All righty, we're gonna get in here and do a little correcting, and then I'm going to start. And I know some of you guys at home are probably shrieking, going, "What the hell is he doing? Why is he erasing the?" It's light enough to where I can see it, to where I ink it, and it'll look pretty good, pretty fantastic, I think. And I can see the details, and it makes it easier for me when I ink, that I don't have all that graphite there. And so you guys get to see it as it's on. See, the sad thing is, half the time I'm thinking of Tifa as she is in the remake, and then the other half of the time, Final Fantasy Abridged Tifa. Well, I'm going to try to make her look nice no matter what. So everybody out there, we're just doing free sketches tonight. If you go and back Dragon Guard, because I see some new people in here, we're at 20 right now. If you back Dragon Guard, the link is in the description. You will get a free sketch tonight. All you have to do is put your backer number in. You go and back the book. You'll get a backer number when you back it tonight. It has to be during the live stream. You will get a free sketch. Character of your choice. It's on 6. It's a bust sketch. BUST, as in upper body. You take your backer number, put it into the chat over here that you see, and then I will just tell me whatever character you want, and I will draw it. Well, within reason. You know, we're not doing hentai or uh, anything like that, but within reason, we can make it happen. Andrew J, you're at 18. Oh, wow. Holy cow. Okay, wow. Thank you, guys. Everybody out there, man, that's awesome. That is fantastic. Man, I appreciate it. We can just keep on rolling. And I know some of you that have been with me here tonight has already heard me say this, but the whole thing with Dragon Guard is it's fantasy. It's something fun that I want to draw, and um, you know, I can only tell you that I love fantasy, and I want to make this a quality book. I hope you look through some of the art that I posted on the Indiegogo and understand that for your buck, for your $25 or your $15 if you got the digital or whatever perk you may have got, I want to give you your money's worth in terms of the art. Um, I want it to be a beautiful book for you, exciting book. Um, there's a lot of campaigns out there that I see that they're charging a premium for this book, and sometimes the level of quality might be questionable, or it might be something where I don't want to slag anybody, but I'm just saying that the idea is to definitely give you your money's worth. What the book looks like, how good the art looks. It gets you excited, gets you pumped. We're doing comics, man, and it's something good for you guys. I wanted to make it great. Andrew Jace, 274, Snake Eyes. Oh, wow. Holy cow. So, Andrew J, you did that, man. Thank you, dude. Mark Anthony, Dragon Guard has gained 200 experience points and has gone to level 18. Yes, sir. Thank you. Snake Eyes it is. Woo! You guys are generous souls. You guys are awesome. I'm glad to have you as a backer. I'm glad that you guys came here for the art, came here for the sketches, came here. A lot of you guys come here every week, regardless of whether or not I've done a giveaway or not, and been long time buyers of art and things like that. When I got introduced to this community last year, and I want to say it was around March, maybe it was just I joined Twitter. I think I started to get noticed a little bit by like people like Antonio and some other people, and then I got onto Drawn and Quartered and part of that community, and I thank you guys, man. It means a lot. Wow, that's just generous of you guys. Anyway, let me get on to inking so we can. I got a Snake Eyes to draw apparently. All right, Lindy Drury, backer number 275. All right, cool. Thank you, Lindy. Let me give y'all Wiggle Wiggle, Hail Comics Gate. Yeah, I'm Wiggle Wiggle. Lindy Drury. Hey there. Who are you getting? Oh, okay. I just wanted to say that's for you guys. Thank you. With the Comicscape thing is I was drawn to some of that stuff because as a creator, I had a certain political bent, and some of those people have welcomed me with open arms. I did a couple of streams where the other people are not so welcoming, so to speak, and so it's been one of those things. But I appreciate the Comicscape nod, Wiggle Wiggle. I really do. Thank you, man. Lindy Drury, artist choice on the sketch. Oh my goodness, don't make me think. I'm just kidding, but it's one of those things where I got to get on autopilot mode here with some of the sketches. So But Lindy, thank you. Thank you so much. Yours is in the mail, I believe. It's on its way to you. So um, I know you got, yeah, there was a couple of sketches. Okay. Yeah, yours is in the mail. I know that for a fact. Um, I'm doing them in batches. I've got a few things, a few other packages and stuff to send out this week. Um, but we're getting it. So anyway, to be honest with you, man, I'm interested in seeing what you guys came around with. Now, Lindy, I got yours. Thank you so much. Andrew J. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Andrew J. Andrew J. I think you've got a package coming in the mail too, man. I'm trying to remember everybody I sent out because there's quite a few. There was about 10 or so people that I had sent stuff to on Friday. The big bulk of it was just trying to get everybody's sketches and their addresses together in order and ready. That was part of my problem. Um, but everything that I could send out Friday, I sent out, and am sending more out this week. All right. All right, Junkyard done. I'll be back. I got to grab lunch and run a few errands. Looking amazing. Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm glad to have you along, and thank you again, Junkyard Done. And I have not forgotten about your Mary Jane and Peter Parker, by the way. Just wanted to let you know. We're good. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, wiggle, wiggle. Same thing. That's kind of how I feel. But I guess what I was saying in terms of that political thing was that what had originally drawn me to it was the fact that certain creators, or I gotta be careful, certain editors at certain companies were making veiled threats at creators who had voted a certain way. Best way to say that. And they were very loud with their tweets, very loud about their stances. And I thought it was pretty crazy that an editor was allowed to make threats against freelancers and pros over who they voted for, their constitutional right. And so I got a little annoyed by that, a little heated about that because um, I do love the Constitution. I do love my freedoms, whatever they may be. And I was shocked to see some of these people be able to, for the most part, make these threats and not be punished for them. Um, certain people have said on stream, certain people, I don't know, Joe Quezada for one of them, it said that they had punished these people. And as far as I can tell, most of those people that were making those threats are still working at Marvel and still the same job they had. So still editors, still on these books. So, you know, that's if I can explain what I meant by that with the politics thing, that's what I meant. Yeah, exactly. Wiggle, wiggle. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, man. Mark Anthony, I kind of want to grab dinner, but I don't want to miss any of this either. Hey, Mark Anthony, yours is the one after this one. That's I gotta write. Let me if you bonk out, let me write down the character's name because I want to be able to ink it or to draw it and stuff and not forget her name. So if you would just shoot me the character's name. I believe she's from Final Fantasy VII, right? Okay, I'll just. But anyway, I've got Tifa, and then I've got. I tell you what, I think what we're going to do is we're going to, for the stress of the stream, unless somebody backs again, we're going to stick with Mark Anthony's, Andrew J's, and Lindy Drury's. I think that's for the night because Aerith. Yeah, okay, cool. I hope I'm pronouncing that right anyway. Let me write her name down really quick. Captain Hills is still with us. All right, I got you there. So we're good. So I know which character. So if you need to bonk out, dude, you got it. I understand completely. And if you want to come back, I think I'll be doing this for at least maybe an hour more. I don't really want to get into too much trouble staying out too late. But for those who don't know, sometimes because I got chihuahuas and a couple of cockatiels, that it gets a little loud when I stream. So I kind of go out. I have a place where I go out and I'm allowed to stream from. Alrighty. Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Every one of you guys tonight have been super generous tonight. Thank you, guys. So I'm assuming that regardless of my my promotional skills, it seems like the free drawings, free sketches for backers is a winning kind of promotional tool, or at least for right now, anyway. For everybody watching, I'm just filling in some of the blacks really quick before I start going into the details. This is a good brush tip. I don't want to mess it up. Okay. Let's see if this one does the job. Nope. Dead as fried chicken. Okay. I won't use that one. Lindy Drury, if you have another backer, you can do mine on screen. I have to get up for work. I won't be here long. Thank you for the stream. Lindy, thank you. Thank you for coming in and backing me. Really appreciate that. It's very kind of you. I'm glad to have you along. Thank you so much. But yeah, if you said you didn't have a preference, but if you think of something, you know where to find me. And you could definitely hit me up. And if you have something in mind, and if not, I will do you a Dragon Guard character. Hopefully you'll really dig it. It'll go well with your copy of Dragon Guard. And thank you so much. I'm glad to have you along. So anyway, while we're sitting here chatting and doing this, and you guys are checking out what I'm drawing, I've got a Snake Eyes and then an Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. That I'm going to be drawing. We're going to be wrapping up Tifa here shortly. Okay, for everybody, just fun little exercise or fun little topic of conversation. Who are you guys' favorite artists, comic artists or whatever? Uh, who really excites you, get you go into the comic shops, or well, I guess we can't do it right now, but generally speaking, who gets you to the comic shops and really makes you excited for comics, or if you do it all. Is there somebody that you actually absolutely when they have a book come out you got to get that kind of thing? And once again, for everybody watching, we're going to be wrapping it up kind of soon, but I figured I'd ask you guys or let you know that if you come in for the stream tonight, we're doing free sketches for Dragon Guard, for backing Dragon Guard. If you go to Indiegogo, there's a link in the description. Go out, check out Indiegogo for the Dragon Guard. Check out my campaign. Look through it. See if it's the kind of art you dig. It's a fantasy comic in the vein of a lot of the cool fantasy cartoons and things like that, like Conan, He-Man, Thundercats, Visionaries, Sectars, all that kind of cool stuff. All those toys and things like that. I'm a big fan of that stuff, and that's what the vein of Dragon Guard is. It's a love letter to all that stuff. Check out Dragon Guard. If it's something that you like, you see the artwork, you want to back us, back the book, and then you'll be given a number. You come here to the chat, just drop in your backer number, and then you can tell me what character you would like. We're going to do this for a little bit longer, and then we're going to call it a night. But I've been very fortunate that you guys all the people in the chat have checked it out. A lot of you have backed it. You're here enjoying the stream. I'm on the East Coast. That's another reason why I might have to call it a night here shortly. But I'm doing Tifa from Final Fantasy VII. That's one of the sketches. And you can come here and get a free sketch. The only rules, limitations is number one, just a single character. Just because there are other backers waiting, and might be other backers waiting, and don't want to, it takes a little longer to draw multiple characters, so we're just going to keep it at one character. So I'm going to go back to my reference for Tifa. We're almost done with that. Okay. I'm checking out my reference right now. All right. Okay, let's check out. Mick says, Kevin, oh, okay. Let's go down the line here. Title of this piece, Seventh Heaven. Okay, let's see. Well, let's go down the line. I'm going to check you guys out just to see what's going on here. Let's see. I keep wanting to say King Ghidorah. Wiggle says Eric Powell's Goon is one of my favorite. That's pretty cool. I've seen some of his stuff. It's really, really cool. Ghidorah says Jim Lee since '92. Yeah. Ryan Benjamin, Rob. No, wait, I didn't say that. Okay, I got you. Gary Frank, yeah, Gary Frank's definitely coming to his own. When he took over for Dale on the Hulk way back when, I wouldn't say I wasn't a fan. I just, he was missing some of the dynamic stuff. He's a great illustrator. He just, some of the dynamics of it maybe wasn't as fun for me, but he did some great stuff on the Marvel UK stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've always liked it. It was just kind of a not a shock because he fit in pretty well, but it was kind of, when you have somebody like Dale who's a fan favorite, it's hard to pick up that mantle and go with it, But I've always liked him, especially his newest stuff. Gary Frank's just busting out some amazing stuff. Jamie Ramirez says Jim Lee, Art Adams, Todd McFarlane, Kirby, Buscema. Yeah, you're an old school fan, dude. Yeah, you definitely. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Yeah, he's great. All his fundamentals are great. He's one of those people that just his basic drawing ability is so good, and a lot of people don't have those fundamentals, and you look at his stuff, it's got a good style, plus the basics are rock solid, the style guide, man, for DC, just awesome. Alex Toth, Brian Hitch, Sean Gordon Murphy, yeah, good stuff. Liam Sharp on Green Lantern, and independent publisher Man Cave Studios books I really enjoy a lot. Cool. Tarps. Let's see. Yeah, Mark Anthony, thank you, sir. I appreciate the Seventh Heaven joke there, or the comment. I'm getting a little loopy. I need to drink some more coffee. Shouldn't have coffee, but I got to stay up. A lot of people saying Arthur Adams. Yep, Arthur Adams is definitely a big influence on our generation of artists and stuff. Jim Lee. Let's see. George Perez, Mark Silvestri for Migs. Yep, great. That's a great pedigree artist there, man. And Mark's been doing things for a long time. And he looks so young. You see the guy, and it's like, dude, does this guy even age? Because Mark's been doing a lot of stuff. I mean, he was there at Marvel before Jim was, I think, and was doing X-Men well before Jim was. He's definitely, made his mark on the books. Let's see. We have Mix. Oh, thank you, Blue Boy Hobbies. Appreciate that, buddy. Francisco Matina covers. Yeah, okay. Cool. Trusty Sidekick, Kevin, you probably watched The Toys That Made Us. Yeah, I watched The Toys That Made Us. That show's kind of funny. If you happen to watch it, for the people that haven't watched it, it's basically talking about how the toys came to be. But man, because of the way they edit their stuff and the way they the entertainment value of what they're trying to do, they make certain people look, I wouldn't say bad, but it's riled. The show has riled the fans a tad bit, especially like the Masters of the Universe one and stuff, and it makes a lot of these guys look like kooks, and it's hilarious to see some of the reactions to that stuff. But it's an interesting show because you get to see the behind the scenes, or a lot of the sketches, and how a lot of the toys came to be, and what some of the thought processes and stuff. Tarks, yeah, Visionary and Sectars are some of my favorite toy lines and cartoons. Yeah, Tarks, yeah, Visionaries was some I had when I was a kid, but I never could, for whatever reason, our affiliate didn't have the TV show a lot. I could never catch, when they aired it, it would always move around and stuff, so I never got to see it. And I went back and watched some of the stuff on YouTube, and that intro is amazing. It's like, if you can find a high quality of it, man, I would put it on par with the excitement of like how the Thundercats intro was. I mean, if you go back and look, it's got beautiful animation, just beautiful. Um, Let me see. Mark Anthony says mostly it's indie artists I'm watching lately. You and Rob Willis in particular are among a few. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, Rob's doing great stuff. It's going to be interesting to see him kind of see how he evolves and in little tiny places where he improves and things like that. And he's got so many of the little basics. He's got a style and he's got an approach to everything and an understanding of anatomy that's pretty damn good. And he just does. He's getting the lighting down. He reminds me of Dale in some respects. Dale Keown, not like stylistically in the exact drawing style, but his approach, some of the things about the lighting, how he always thinks about lighting the figure a certain way, really dynamically in his drawings and his shadings and stuff, his rendering. Um, Wiggle Wiggle. Well, Ghidra, let me see. I also enjoyed Norm Brayfogle as a kid with his Batman series. Sad that he's gone. Yeah, I know, man. We're seeing some of the people we grew up with passing away, and it's one of those things, man. It's with time as we get older, we start to see this and starts to become more aware of our mortality and seeing our heroes go and stuff, man. It's not the best part of living life that that I enjoy. I definitely hear you, man. Wiggle Wiggle. Mark is immortal. Yeah. All right. Let me see. Mark Anthony, be right back. Food is calling. Kevin Sharp, want to go to whoever was next and get mine after? Yeah, that's totally up to you, man. You tell me what to do. I don't want to put you aside. Wiggle Wiggle says I enjoy EBS's work. He does amazing stuff, man. He's doing really stunning stuff, and that's what I like about his work. It looks really damn good. You strip away all the hyperbole, all the showmanship, and all whatever you want to say. Amazing. I think one of my favorite things he's done so far has been that one that Richard Meyer had sent him the layout for Jawbreakers. I thought that was an amazing looking cover. Um, it's amazing looking. That should be a poster in itself. I hope Zach makes that a poster. Let me see. Wiggle Wiggle. Mark is immortal. Yeah. He definitely doesn't look like he ages much. You'll catch a wrinkle here or two, but he definitely looks like a young guy still. Um, Jamie Ramirez art. It's great to see Jim Lee and Art Adams still creating awesome artwork. Yeah. It's like art is, man. Marvel got him to do those covers. I can't remember what crossover it was, and he had those huge covers where they were like all like this big giant conglomeration of these weird panels and characters inside the panels and stuff. And I was like, I would kill my. I could not draw what he drew, and art is just a juggernaut, man. It just seems like he gets better year after year, no matter how old he is. And Jim Lee doing pretty nice stuff, man. All right, let me see. Nick says, "Congrats, Kevin. I see you're at 18062 now. Oh, thank you. I'm Migs. I love it. I love that you guys are still backing me, and there's quite a few books that are coming out, and some good ones that are hitting, and I'm still managing to keep some attention on myself. So I appreciate it, and that's because of you guys. Not anything I've done. I wish I was a showman. I wish I was a baller. No, I wish I was as good a showman and stuff on the YouTube that other people are, but this is just me. Um, anyway, let's see. Wiggle Wiggle, loving your work a lot. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, man. I'm a fan of Mort Drucker as well. Yeah, exactly. He passed away. That cover needs to be. Oh yeah, poster. Yeah. Have I seen the Zika Toys Sectar 7-inch figures? Yeah, they're looking really good. That's the thing with the sculpting is so much better. Um, the sculpting is so much better nowadays. You know, just like the kind of more dynamic anatomy and really uh, what's the way to say it? But anyway, the sculpting is there's a lot more attention to details and stuff, and even those little small 4-inch figures, the 4-inch scale figures, they managed to make those amazing. They look really good. They deserve a look see. I've seen a few pics of them, and to me, they're fire, man. They look really good. All right, Tifa's about done. I gotta remember who I drew Tifa for. Boy, Tifa. I want to say who did I draw Tifa for? If you're out there, just let me know. um, I could go back in the chat and check, but yeah, the I was supposed to have written that down, but I think either I erased it or it got a little goofy. All right, no, that's quick enough sketch anyway. And Jamie Ramirez, yeah, you get me talking about toys, dude. I'll be here forever. The 6-inch GI Joe figures, so far it looks good. They're picking costumes that. Anyway, let me take it real quick. I see we got a few more people up in here watching or whatever. If you're watching and you go and check out Dragon Guard, my comic, it's a fantasy comic on Indiegogo right now. If you look in the description, I have the link. Click that link. Go check it out. Look at the artwork. See if you dig it. See if you dig the colors. If you do dig it, you want the copy of it. Check all the perks and see which one you want. Like if you want some original art, we have original art. Pages from the comic, and then you come back here after backing, and they'll give you a number. You put that in here, and that'll let me know what character you want me to draw. You get a free drawing here tonight, now during the stream. So anyway, getting back to Jamie. Let me see here. Let's see. Yeah, what do you think about this 6-inch GI Joe figures? Yeah, the GI Joe figures. The Snake Eyes looks phenomenal. The Duke looks good. I'm going to put Mark Anthony's to the side, and I know Lindy Drury told me to draw hers next, but I tell you what, we'll put these over here so I have extra paper. And let's see. I know somebody wanted a Snake Eyes. That was Andrew J. wanted a Snake Eyes. So let me write that down. If I can find my pencils. Okay, that's crazy. One of my pencils disappeared. Wonder if I knocked them on the floor or something. Oh, no, here it is. Okay, cool. And so I'm a big the G.I. Joe figures. I like Snake Eyes. I like Duke look pretty good. I'm not digging the costume they chose for Scarlet. I'm not a big fan. It looks good though. They got a lot of accessories. They're sculpted pretty well. You know, they're Hasbro, so they're gonna do the figures pretty nice. Let me see. Junkyard done was for Chiefy. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Thank you for helping me out with that. Yeah. There you go, buddy. Whoops. Sliding it a little too far over. Okay, there we go. And Junkyard done. Okay. And now we're going to Snake Eyes. I know Mark Anthony had Eris, and then Lindy Drury. Whatever I want. Artist pick. Okay, so we got that, and we got Snake Eyes. So I'm gonna do Snake Eyes for Mr. Andrew J. And I just sent him, I just sent him out a package, so that's gonna be interesting. Um, okay, now I'm jealous of the sketch. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Just looking around. I'm shocked. Jesse has not gotten any love from Final Fantasy VII. Well, I guess that depends. I guess it depends. Okay, so anyway, so anybody, I saw that we have a couple people in here, and like I said, check out the book. Go if you go back Dragon Guard. The link is in the description. If you back the book, come back here. Give me your backer number. Let me check it. I'll get a notification that somebody backed me. I'll check it. Your number matches up, which is probably will, and then tell me whatever character you want. We're going to be wrapping it up here soon, though, because we're going close to 3 hours, so we're going to call this a night soon. But thank you, Captain Hiltz, for dropping the link in the chat. All right. All right, so we're going to go with Snake Eyes. So we're going to get to sketching. Now look up a most modern Snake Eyes here. And if you hear me, I'm over here trying to look up reference. Not that I need a whole lot of reference. I drew G.I. Joe at one time. I drew G.I. Joe and a big poster. There's a poster out there that's pretty famous that I drew of all the G.I. Joes and Cobra and all that stuff. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Jamie Ramirez. Yeah, I was going to say I didn't really like the Scarlet costume or the design that they chose for her, and I didn't really like the Roadblock. But I will tell you, the Destro was kind of like make me feel like a kid again because he had the briefcase and the gun and everything. The Destro is awesome. I think the one that's going to sell out besides the Snake Eyes is going to be that Destro. It's pretty dang amazing. I like the packaging. It's just a fantastic figure. No two ways about it. There's the new GI Joe 6-inch line looks good, and I think Hasbro will probably have some good success with it. I hope they get to the point where they can actually issue a more classic looking. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. More classic looking Roadblock and a Scarlet. I'm hoping that they'll get to like CoverGirl and Lady J. Lady J was one of my favorites. And I hope she looks, more like the cartoon, not necessarily, or the classic figure, not something revamped for sensitive audiences nowadays. But they look fantastic. There's no, I was amazed with it when they released pics of Destro. I was like, wow, that's right. They got that right. Destro looks good. All righty. So now we're going in. I see Mark Anthony is back or still here or whatever. What I can do is since Andrew J. Mark Anthony came in and backed, he backed before you got here, so I'm giving him. He wanted to basically say, "Hey, you can skip me if you need to," and he was going to go get some food, but he's back. So what I may do is just sketch out your Snake Eyes, and then jump back to Mark Anthony if he needs it, wants to see it. And then Nightheart Warriors back again. Yeah, yeah. I haven't. Jamie, we're in your neck of the woods. Are the figures out? I know some people are posting pics. Certain YouTube sellers are posting pics of the figures, and and selling some for crazy. Like they're already up to like $80 or 100 so far on the eBay market for those figures. It's insane. They're doing numbers like the Masters of the Universe Classics were doing. They still are. Like some of the more older figures are $200 or $300, things like that. So you've got a crazy markup on them for whatever, and they haven't even hit for most people. So they're doing what I see happen with the Masters of the Universe Classics line, and that shows you that there's a lot of interest in that 6-inch line. Haven't seen any of my. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, Andrew J, you're still there. That's cool. So let me show you. I'm getting Snake Eyes in here. Just wanted you to see. Let me see. I don't know. The only sad thing is unless you got the what was it, a con or was it Toy Fair? Maybe it was Toy Fair. That's what I'm thinking of. Unless you got the Toy Fair version of Snake Eyes, which was it was a limited edition that came with like a backdrop and I wouldn't say a diorama, but it had some pieces for like a backdrop. You'd only get the Uzi for Snake Eyes with that figure. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know for certain, but the word was that I had read was that you're only getting the Uzi for Snake Eyes with that version. The Walmart or whatever the regular store version won't have the Uzi, which was kind of a bummer. I was like, man, of all the things to take out, that's kind of like trademark Snake Eyes. So Hasbro Pulse Edition, yeah. Nighthawk Warriors, the Spawn is already released. No, I don't think they're released yet. They're just doing the Kickstarter. Now I know there's a version of Spawn that is with the um, that they've got a version of Spawn that is out or coming out that goes with the Mortal Kombat figures that looks a lot like the one that Todd McFarlane is selling. Uh, and I got a notification from my colorist. Jamie Ramirez art. I also think the standard version doesn't have the visor colored silver. Huh, that's interesting. But that can be alleviated with paint. That's not a big deal. But I was like, dude, come on. The Uzi is Snake Eyes. It's Snake Eyes. The Uzi is a Snake Eyes thing. I mean, if you know the character, that's a big deal. I mean, it's cool. He's got the swords. It's cool. He's got the guns and whatnot. But the Uzi is just Snake Eyes' weapon. That kind of thing. But Destro looks amazing. I think that's going to be a huge seller. Absolute huge seller. I think he'll be just as good as he looks. I think that will be the next, besides Snake Eyes, the hot figure. The one that you're going to be in demand. So I guess I'll ask everybody: is the standard version going to be available in stores like Target and Walmart? I guess that's my question. I imagine it would be, but I didn't know what their marketing plan was. Olds, 1987 Olds 442. Hey, that's cool. Retail Snake Eyes is mostly all black. Okay. Blue Boy Hobbies, do they have a Storm Shadow? No, Storm Shadow hasn't been shown as a part of any wave yet. So far, the only figures are there's the Toy Fair or the Hasbro Pulse Snake Eyes, which is different. It has a backdrop and a lot of extras, weapons and things like that. Maybe even the wolf. I couldn't remember if he had like a wolf there. Um, but yeah, there was that. Then there was the retail wave, which appears to just be um, it appears to just be Snake Eyes, regular edition, Duke, Scarlet, Roadblock, and Destro, and I think maybe a Cobra. Maybe there was a Cobra soldier or a regular, Cobra, whatever. Um, I believe that's how that works out. $1987 olds, 442, two per case. Dude, you know a lot about it, man. Let me know. This oh cool. Cool, Nighthawk Warrior. All right, there we go. We've got a roughed in Snake Eyes. So Andrew J, I've got you covered. Let's see. Is GI Joe still published by IDW? Yeah, they are. I thought GI Joe was on hold with TMT Comics. Well, they might be, but I know that the Rob Liefeld is doing that mini series for Snake Eyes, so I imagine it's got to be coming out at some point. Retail version has the sci-fi guns. Ah, okay, I see what the difference is now. Okay. So if anybody could let me know if Walmart and Target and places like that are getting retail versions, like are they selling them at Walmart? I guess is the best way to say it. Because I hope mine does. I have a terrible Walmart. My Walmart sucks, and it's one of the only stores near where I live. So like they would intermittently carry Marvel Legends. Like they would carry Marvel Legends, and then you'd go this long drought of not carrying Marvel Legends, and they'd only carry the Marvel Titans figures. The Titan Marvel figures. The ones that are no articulation. They're like a foot or a foot tall or whatever, and just big hunks of plastic. And then so you'd go months without any of them, and then somehow it would show up and there'd be a little case of Marvel Legends there, and then they'd get sold out or scalped or hit by the scalpers, and then there'd be a couple of figures remaining on the shelf. You'd go in there late at night and go, oh, okay, there's some Marvel Legends, and there's crap. So that's the problem I was having at my store, is that they wouldn't carry the Marvel Legends, so I'm worried about the GI Joes not being sold at nearby either. And for me, I'd have to drive over 30, 40 minutes over to the next town over to get any of that kind of stuff. So 1987 Olds 442. Agreed. I used to live near your Walmart. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, they're just awful. Oh, I think I know who 1970. Okay, I think I know who that is. Hey, man, how you doing, buddy? Um, yeah, it's awful. I mean, they just won't get anything in right now. The only thing they have is the Brie Larson binary. They call it binary. It looks nothing like her binary form, but they call it the binary, the special edition Walmart figure, and they've got cases of them. And whereas everybody else is starting to like discount them because they want they want to get them off the shelves, so they discount them. That Walmart that's nearby, it sells them for full price, so they're at like $18, and they just have like 2 cases of them sitting on the shelves, and they will not discount them, and it's so bizarre. It's aggravating because they won't get any more Marvel Legends in, and it's just awful. It's so frustrating. Ghidorah. Oh, Nighthawk Warrior, bye again and keep up with Snake Eyes. Great job. I'm falling asleep. That's okay, Nighthawk Warrior. You have a good night, man. Jamie Ramirez, the Titans are like giant McDonald's toys. Yeah, dude. It makes me so mad seeing just they order tons of those and they just sit there on the shelves, and I'm like, the people that are going to buy the Marvel figures aren't going to want to. There's going to be little kids, maybe, parents will buy a few of those for their kids, but they aren't going to sell like to the right audience. You're not going to get people that are going to buy it. They're going to want the Marvel Legends and stuff, and I'm looking for them and I can't find them. But at the same time, I guess the bright side is that it keeps me from buying too many toys or action figures. But then every now and then you go into some place like Five Below, and there's a swath of like Guardians of the Galaxy figures, and I just loaded up on those. So the Guardians of the Galaxy wave of Marvel Legends. I mean, not the Titan figures. Okay. So Andrew J, my man, this is what your Snake Eyes is going to look like. And Mark Anthony is back. Okay. I'm going to look up Aerith, and then this will probably be the last sketch for the night unless I miss somebody who backed. If you're out there right now in TV land and are sitting in there going, what the hell is he doing? I'm doing free sketches for backers, and that's roughly what your Snake Eyes is going to look like. Oh yeah, by the way, just so I have to clarify, because this actually happened in a movie, so at least I have to say this. See right here, these little lines right under his visor. That's not a mouth. That was just maybe a layout for where the mouth would go. Don't worry, it's not going to be like the G.I. Joe movie where he has a mouth in his mask. Junkyard Done. Woo, look at that Snake Eyes. Cool, man. Junkyard Done, if you're back with us, there's your Tifa. I believe that was your Tifa. Am I wrong or am I right? Just want to make sure. And there we go. And Ghidorah says up there, he says, I used to work at Target and I would see that with the Hot Wheels treasure hunts. Yeah. Well, the cool thing for me recently, I don't even touch Hot Wheels, but they came out with a Wind Raider from He-Man and a Thunder Tank, and you can't find those hardly anywhere. But I managed to snag 2 of those from our crappy Walmart, and I don't even know how to. I had to look through a bunch of the different, and because I knew they were out there. There were pictures online. Somebody had pictures, and they thought it was just photoshopped and that it wasn't straight out real. But come to find out, Hot Wheels actually did. I managed to snag a couple of those, but they did a Thunder Tank, and they're tiny, but it looks good for being tiny. And the Wind Raider from He-Man. So that was kind of cool. Mainly we get junk. We don't really get a lot of cool stuff. Junkyard Done. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you. The fact that you wanted to go ahead and back again and get sketch and all that stuff. Thank you for putting it out there, man. Humphrey Bear. All right, cool. Humphrey Bear question mark. I don't know exactly what it would say, what we're talking about, but you can elaborate if you want. And I'm going to be doing Aerith. Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. And I'm looking up reference for her right now. Oh, yeah, she's cute. Okay, I get it. I get it. Now let's see if I can do her justice. That's the question. Alrighty. Oh, Junkyard done. Thank you, buddy. All right. Let's see here. I guess the only question I really have to ask is, Mark Anthony, do you want me to do the classic or more classic version? There's a cartoonier version that has a certain style of dress, and then we have the remake, which has a completely different kind of style of dress. Mark Anthony, I gave you some rather difficult hair to do. Nah, it's not a big deal. That stuff's pretty easy. Cloud's hair, I think, was a little harder for me to make work. I think I can handle it. Of course, you know, we'll see after I'm done with it. That is. Is there a certain style of dress? Okay, Humphrey Bear, cartoony. Mark Anthony says remake Aerith. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Mark Anthony, keeping with the theme tonight. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It's the remake episode. At least those are some of the bids I'm getting. So we got some of our viewer count going down. It's getting late here on the East Coast, so that would be understandable. But if you're out there, one last time, this will be the last time I remind everybody. But if you're out there lurking and you're in TV land and you're saying, "Hey, what in the hell is he doing? He's drawing these sketches." These are free sketches. They are free sketches for the Indiegogo backers of Dragon Guard, my book. It's a fantasy book. It's on Indiegogo right now. The link is in the description, and a Dragon Guard remake. But the link is in the description. You guys can check it out. Go there if you happen to like what you see, because there's tons of art there on the Indiegogo for Dragon Guard. Dragon Guard's a fantasy book with a little bit of love shown towards the 80s cartoons of yesteryear. Stuff like He-Man, Thundercats, Sectaurs, Visionaries, Conan, and then into the 90s with Battle Chasers and Pit, and a whole bunch of other things that people loved. So it's stylistically like that. If you like that, come back here after you back. You'll get a number saying which number you back. Come back here, tell me your backer number, and then you get a free sketch. But we're going to be closing up shop soon, so if you're going to do it fast. Otherwise, I thank you for your time and just checking everything out. And if you're in a foreign country, I kind of ask for you to throw in a little bit of money PayPal wise. My PayPal should be in the description. Throw in a little bit for shipping. Free is free, and I'm here to give you a free drawing, but the shipping can be murder on me. So especially if you're in a foreign country, it would be helpful. And otherwise, we're just here to have fun, and I'm going to be finishing up some sketches for the wonderful people in chat who have been backing me. And they're here again, and they're doing awesome for me. Thank you. We crossed 18 tonight. I can't say enough good things about you guys for being not nice enough to come there and get another copy, or if it's your first copy or whatever. Thank you. And it looks like she's got like a bandana or something like that in her hair. It looks really cool. So that's fun. That's fun to draw. So Mark Anthony was in line. Mark Anthony stepped out, said, "Hey, if you want to do somebody else's drawing, go ahead and do that for a while I'm out." And I started on Andrew J's drawing, which was a cool Snake Eyes. Lindy Drury said it was artist choice. So Lindy was here, then she left. Had to go to bed. I think she's on the same time zone as I am, which is East Coast. And this is where we're at. And she's got a cool necklace or bola. Cute little jacket. All right. And earlier this evening, I was watching Jim Lee doing a live stream drawing Aquaman on Twitch, which was really cool. Jim used to do it a lot, then he kind of backed off in the last, I don't know, 6 months. He's backed off on doing live streams, I guess, with his duties as a publisher of DC Comics now. He was, obviously really busy, but he did another live stream like he used to, and it was really cool watching him put everything together for Aquaman. Kind of wanted to see him branch out and do some other characters. He's mostly kind of confined to certain DC characters, it seemed like. All right. Joshua Gilliland. Hey, buddy. How you doing? You've got a package coming. Just wanted to let you know. And let's see. Mark Anthony featuring 100% more belts, zippers, and plot contrivances. Cool. Captain Hiltz, thank you again for doing the duty. "1987 old 442 Woot just got another character to level 50 in City of Heroes during the stream. Sweet. Jamie Ramirez. I remember Jim Lee used to do art giveaways, but stopped because he had saw people sell. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, people were flipping them too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, some of them, and I think part of it was, well, yeah, he definitely was getting away from that because he was trying to. Yeah, you said it. There's no point in me repeating it, but yeah. Junkyard Dunn, he did a pretty good Big Barda last week, I think. Yeah, man, dude, very nice, very nice. That was one of the characters that I hadn't seen him draw, and he really knocked it out of the park. That Barda probably and the Doomsday have been my favorite ones so far that he's done. If anything, it's a good cause trying to help the comic shops out, but it's also fun just to see him go through the gauntlet because he's doing 60 drawings in 60 days, and life can get in the way. So the fact that he's trying to keep his commitment and keep it going is fantastic in my opinion. And his stuff sells for so much. I think Adam Hughes, Jim. It's only a few people that sell for the price ranges that Jim does, and those can help shops. Also like other people's idea that Joshua Gilliland. Yes, glad I caught your live stream. Yeah, I'm glad you came here too, man. Eater 76, he did an art giveaway today. He redid his page for today, so it's like a copy before the ink. Oh yeah, because I think he was roughing out the figure and he didn't like something wasn't working maybe or something, and he just was like, hey, I'll give this away. Am I crazy? I missed part of it, or at least I wasn't listening to part of it because I was trying to get some work done, and I just kind of zoned out and was trying to do work and missed. I would look at it and check it out, but I wasn't listening to everything he said. Hey, Joshua Gilliland, I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here with us. I think Jim Lee mentioned starting on drawing number 20, he would be doing quicker head sketches. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, whatever it is, he's doing a good job, and it's fun to watch, and it's fun for fans to check that out. All right, now I just need to pay attention to Aerith's hair. So that do not disappoint Mr. Mark Anthony. She's got the kind of the flowing, kind of curled, almost like ribbons going on with the style of her hair. It's really pretty amazing what they are able to do with that. So get her nose in here. Alrighty. Let's take a look at her. As much detail as I can get on her dress. Interesting. Yeah. Coloring is seeing the sketches and being able to get some copies to color it. I imagine that would be fun, especially just being a fan and stuff. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna get another guzzle of coffee here real quick. And I hope from Mark Anthony that I'm respecting the character and getting it drawn very accurately. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna have to knuckle down and actually get me a copy of Final Fantasy Remake or whatever, because I've always been interested in it, at least a little bit on the fringe on the outside. I'm a diehard like fantasy, barbarians, wizards kind of role playing game kind of guy, but I can branch out. Alrighty. Let's see. It's so interesting to see, like, to take that almost like anime kind of style to the hair, where they've got the points, and then they've rendered it very realistically. A lot of the textures and stuff are very realistic, but you see, a lot of these, you see these points where the hair, the bangs go up to these kind of arches and then come down, but it's all realistically rendered. Mark Anthony, you may want to play the original first. Oh, okay. Blue Boy Hobbies. She looks cute, and you haven't even inked her yet. Give yourself some credit. You could draw the lady. Hey, thank you, buddy. Yeah, it's one of those things. We all just want to improve. I think um, there are days where maybe I'm hard on myself a lot more than I should be, but um, generally it's just in the spirit of trying to improve. Um, it's hard to explain. I'm a big fan of guys like Adam Hughes and Frank Cho. Frank Cho's another one, and so how do I explain this? When we're trained to see, when we're trained to work on our basics and like it's like building a house, and you've got to have the foundation and the structure right, or else it all kind of falls apart. And when you're trained in your trade, your art, certain things, like who's an artist, that kind of thing, where that people have got skills, underlying structure, underlying ability, and things that maybe the most how do I say it, like things that maybe the common fan wouldn't see or think of. And then you see people that are geniuses, and that they've got um, this great skill, and you can't communicate it. It's like the color blue. Telling somebody the color blue, how do you describe the color blue? And so you see that guys like Adam Hughes or Frank Cho, and they've got a quality where not only do their stuff looks good, but the underlying ability, it stands out at you, and that's what I that's what I'm trying to improve on. uh, I'm not a huge fan of, let's say, or it isn't like I'm quoting somebody, but it's not like I'm a huge fan of them. But there was a quote by Sammy Hagar in a guitar mag that I was listening or reading. I'm sorry, and he was talking about Tool, the band Tool, and he was talking about it, and he says a genius genius is when somebody is so technically good that their peers respect them, but they're so damn good that even the audience gets it. Even the layman, or I don't want to use necessarily that term, but they're so damn good that even the audience gets it. And that has always stuck with me as a definition of where I want to be. I'm not saying I am, I'm just saying that's where I'm going. That's where I guess when we're artists, we want to be better, all the time. Blue Boy Hobbies. I always thought Michael Turner could draw some hot looking women. Yeah. Michael Turner was great. There were some fundamental things that, I wasn't a fan of his for, and that's not a slag. I'm just saying stylistically and studies, he wasn't on my radar of the guys that I admired, but he always did great stuff. He always had some striking images. His stuff was, very, you definitely understood why he was a big seller, I guess is what I'm saying. So he wasn't my strictest influences on anything, but there'd be great things you do. I mean, dude, like that. There's a cover shortly. I don't know if it was shortly before he died, but I know it was one of the things that was more. It was right before some of his DC stuff, but he did a Wolverine cover with that. It's like a Weapon X kind of thing, and he's got the cables all out of him, and he's got his body turned sideways, and he's holding up one arm, and the arm, claws are coming out the arm, and he's got the tubes and the wires. I mean, Michael just, good God. I mean, he had just drawn so many of the wires and the tubes and things like that. And it looked, the general idea that maybe it was a little crazy how many tubes it was, but it looked so striking and so good that you just couldn't help but to go, damn, that's awesome, And, yeah, Michael Turner's, is one of those guys that was good. He may not have necessarily been an influence on my stuff particularly, but it was definitely one of those people you could see why people loved him. It was interesting. Like, I think during one of the streams, Mike asked me if I was drawing a female character, and then he asked me if I was a huge fan of J. Scott Campbell, and I was like, dude, he's probably the furthest away. Well, I wouldn't say the furthest away, but he's not an influence in any kind of thought. But the more I see J. Scott Campbell stuff as the years go by, and he just keeps refining it more and more, it's amazing. Um, he does great looking stuff, and it's got a nice energy, and you know him right off the bat. You can't say that with a lot of artists, but you say that with him. You can tell a J. Scott Campbell piece when you see it. Ghidra 76, yeah, his memorial was said it was at Comic Con. So much crying in that room that day. Yeah, yeah. I know friends. I had friends who were friends with him, very close with him, and it hit a lot of people hard. Uh, I was friends with Mike Wieringo. If you guys remember Mike, awesome illustrator. The Flash, Telos, Fantastic Four with Mark Waid. That run was pretty amazing. I love Mike. Mike was a regular here in our local cons here where I live in Virginia. And Mike had lived in Virginia for a while, like Lynchburg and some other places. And so when he first got his gig on Flash, I started doing cons here in Roanoke and just got to sit and talk to him as a young nobody. And the Flash is one of my favorite DC characters of all time. I mean, there's Shazam, Captain Marvel, there's Firestorm, there's Flash, and Wonder Woman. Those are the big ones for me. Batman. I know people are probably surprised if I did say Batman, but Batman's just so played out for me right now. It's like I've been super saturated with Batman through the years that I'm the only Batman I want to draw is the '89 version. If they gave me a book to draw that would be awesome. Um, that would be a top on my list of a Batman project to draw. But otherwise, man, I'm so Batmaned out, and it's just one of those things. I mean, it's just kind of the saturation. I'm just like, man, I think you've done enough with Batman. Let's kind of put him. He's a top seller, so they're never going to kind of put him on the back burner. But it's one of those things for me. I just wish he would be on the back burner a little bit. Yep. Mike was amazing. Mike Wieringo was amazing dude, and I loved that he had the kind of this golden age appeal to his stuff. He was supposed to do a Shazam, Captain Marvel miniseries, but then something got janked up, messed up, something, and he ended up doing Rogue for Marvel instead, a Rogue miniseries, and it was so weird because it wasn't playing to Mike's strengths. I don't think. I think that that Captain Marvel miniseries or series that he was going to be doing was perfect for him. I mean, square jaw, square chin kind of characters and stuff. The way Mike drew, it was perfect for him. So yeah, I was crushed when I heard that Mike passed away, and because he was, I wouldn't say he was a mentor, but every show he did, he talked to me, came over, checked out my stuff, see how I was doing, things like that, and I was just a fan of his approach. It was so weird to see like a cartoony, bulky Flash, and his Flash was just so much fun. I like when people just play around and just have fun with things. You can tell when people really are having fun. Yeah, and so I'm not going off on Batman. Yeah, I see Blue Boy Hobbies. I saw your comment. Yeah, I'm not going off on it. For me, it's one of those things where I need a break from Batman. It's like I don't want to bite the hand that feeds. I'm just saying that a large volume of your sketches that you get at cons and things would be Batman, and so much Batman, and you know, I've already said it. You know, this is just oversaturation for me. That's the best way to say it. There's no point in rambling on. Get somebody mad at DC or something. Um, let's see. Alrighty. And Mark Anthony, she's got a staff, right? I just want to double check with you in case. Hopefully, you haven't went to sleep yet. Yeah, she's got a staff. It appears. Okay. Hopefully the face looks good. Face works for you, Mark Anthony. I hope that's a decent face. I know she's got it's some of the reference I'm seeing her is I know she's got a long braided pony or ponytail or whatever in the back, but you generally won't see it. Maybe I'll peek it out back here. Desert Biopunk Eris is looking great. All right. I know she's got this pretty cool dress. So everybody, if you're watching, I'm going to be closing it out for Dragon Guard tonight for the free sketches. One more time, I'm going to put in where you can reach me for the address for your sketch. I'll put that out here right now. Let me do this while I'm trying to wrap her up. Let's see. All right, and then you want to check me out. You can reach me also at Kevin Sharp Art on Facebook. So there you go. You guys can reach me there. And then she's going to be holding the staff, this arm. Okay, we'll have her arm right here. Might run off the page a little bit, but okay. Let's see. Let's get creative. Okay. I need a straight edge. Okay. There we go. She's holding the staff behind her back. There we go. Desert Biopunk, I sent my email, by the way, just so you know. Awesome, dude. I'll keep a lookout for you. I'll check it after the stream just so I'm all caught up. All right. Okay. Take a look at her hair real quick. Right. Alrighty. I think I may be doing okay with her. I think that's for Mark to decide, but I think I'm a lot happier than I thought I would be. All right. We're up to 18 viewers. We got 20 likes. Lots of likes. That's cool. Heater76 says he looks amazing. Mark Anthony says it's excellent. All right, cool. That makes me happy because I was a little worried that I wouldn't stick the landing, as they say in gymnastics. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. She has one little band across her neck. It hangs down from her neck, but there's one that goes right there like that, and then bam. There we go. Boom. Blue Boy Hobbies. You know, everybody's going to remember how generous you are with these free sketches. I'm very appreciated. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it, dude. I'm glad to have you around. Heater 76. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Gotta go. Big gone. I can't wait to get my sketch. Yep, everything's being mailed out. Some of you, oh yeah, that was something I got to reiterate. Vapagon, I'm not sure about you. You may have gotten it okay. I don't know as far as like the sending me the emails, but I had a couple of problems with people sending me messages about maybe like what sketch they got, but not their address. They would be kind of excited and forgot to send me their address. So if you're in there, up top there was the KevHulk73@hotmail.com, or if you need to, KevHulk or Kevin Sharp Art on Facebook. Please reach me there tonight, like Vapagon, Blue Boy Hobbies, just to make sure. I think I sent yours out, but if I haven't, I'm sending out another batch this week. But I need you to send me your addresses. Make sure they're in there. I know some people get really excited and are like, "Hey, I want to back the book," and you tell me what sketch you got, but didn't tell me your address, or vice versa. Maybe you possibly forgot to tell me which sketch you got. So make sure you put in your sketch, which sketch you had. I'm in each stream. I usually write people's character and their screen names and stuff down, but in the screen names, real names, I need to know that kind of information. But I generally write who got what on the sketches. But for some people, it might be unclear or I might have forgotten. So make sure you double check. If you have to bug me and send another email or message or anything, feel free. You're not going to bother me. Just make sure that I have your information, because that's been the only major hiccup, is just sometimes people get excited and don't put all their information that I need when you send it. So uh, I try to keep a decent record of who got what, but sometimes things do happen. I could have ate a bad beef or a fragment of underdone potato, something like that, and I may have had a bad evening that in and forgotten who you are. So need to get that Cloud Aerith and Tifa sketch on screen before you sign off. Oh yeah. We'll put the little trilogy up there. Is that what you want? We can do that. Let me move these aside. All right. Let's see if we can get in here. All right, there we go. And Mr. Cloud with the big hair. I might have given him a 80s hairdo. I'll see if I can go refine the hair, but that's, there's some big poofy hair. But there you go. There's a Final Fantasy VII triptych of sorts for you guys. And so these are just free sketches. They'll be going out in the mail. Vapogon, okay, I'd send you a message through Twitter, but I can resend the info in the email. Yeah, dude, just to double check. I mean, I know I should be good, but it's always, I want to make sure you're covered, So it's one of those things. I'm looking out for you. So Junkyard done. Good stuff. Final Fantasy VII. Mark Anthony, yeah. All right, guys. Well, tonight has been awesome. You guys have been freaking fantastic. Thank you for backing Dragon Guard. Thank you for telling people about Dragon Guard. I hope you enjoyed the sketches tonight. And it's getting late for me. It's almost 1. I didn't even realize. Holy cow. So we've been streaming for a good while tonight. Thank you. God bless everybody out there. Whatever your deity that you worship may be, I hope he looks out for you during this time, stress, and the thing that shall not be named, so I don't get struck from YouTube. But the thing that's running around wild and virus that's causing all this trouble. You take care of your loved ones. Thank you for being here. And good night to you guys, okay? I got to get home. I don't want the pots and pans flying at me. So take care, everybody. Good night.